the gas pump.
He says the ban will likely push prices higher, but he also denies that his policies are holding back domestic production. The president also pledging continued support for Ukraine and condemning the Russian leader.
This much is already clear. Ukraine will never be a victory for Putin. Putin may be able to take a city, but he'll never be able to hold the country.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky still defiant, speaking from his desk in the capital Kyiv today, recounting one by one the 13 days of Russian attacks so far.
Constant shelling have been taking place around the country, including hospitals, and that didn't break us.
In a speech to the British Parliament, saying he's disappointed NATO countries won't enforce a no-fly zone over Ukraine. Zelensky has also appealed for more warplanes for Ukraine to use for its own defense.
Really, it's up to Poland or any other nation that might want to give aircraft to the Ukrainians. That's a decision that they can make and they should make. We respect that. Whether there's a backfill from the United States, well, again, that's something that's being explored, but no decision yet.
And Pentagon spokesman John Kirby denies there's any holdup by the U.S. on those planes. McDonald's just announcing it's temporarily closing all of its 850 restaurants in Russia. The company will keep paying its 62,000 employees there, but in an open letter, the CEO calls the closure the right thing to do. He says the company can't ignore the, quote, needless human suffering in Ukraine. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Tuesday afternoon with below average temperatures, a mix of clouds and sunshine. I think we'll top out at best at 49 degrees. Tonight, lots of clouds in place, 30 degrees. Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Now it's a cold start Wednesday morning, but a little bit warmer Wednesday afternoon, 55, 59, 60 on Thursday. But here comes winter on Friday, clouds, 38 degrees with snow, sleet, and rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Mark Cox Morning Show is here to help St. Louis wake up.
We need every governor, every elected official in this country, every senator, every congressman to stand up and say, no, you're not going to take our freedoms for your political gain.
Weekdays from 5 to 9 a.m.
This is the greatest country in the history of the world. And it is that because people can pursue their dreams. I mean, you're free to live your life.
Helping St. Louis wake up. The Mark Cox Morning Show every weekday morning on 97.1 FM Talk.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisory Group hosting yet another one of those protecting your retirement educational events, which I'm going to be at. And I really hope that you're going to be at. One of the greatest things about Thomas Helbig bringing people to the Plaza Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 on March 22nd is that I get to meet you folks. Now, the event starts at 6:30. I usually get there at about 6 o'clock. So between 6 and 6:30, I'm there meeting you. So please come. You do have to sign up. You do have to reserve your spot because those spots do fill up. The room, it's a big room and he has everybody spaced out, but it's still full. So make sure that you get to be there because I want to meet you, and Mark Cox and Mark Reardon are going to be there as well. And I know they want to meet you also. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. That's the number you call to register your spot online. You, your spouse, your significant other. Maybe you want to take your dad or your mom. Reach out to Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group and get your spot saved today. You can also go online to retirementkey.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. When it comes to your tax issues, why would you trust some faceless national company that uses cartoons in its ads to protect you? Tax problems are not funny and should not be treated lightly. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue and you need a lawyer that will protect your rights. You can't meet face to face with a cartoon. And what happens if the national company can't resolve your issue and stops returning calls? Do yourself a favor and call the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. I am a local attorney specializing in tax resolution. You can come in and sit down with a licensed, experienced attorney and put a name with a face. When it comes to tax issues, don't go with a cartoon. Get serious help with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURYlaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like. Or catch up on entire shows within 24 hours of air. 97.1 FM Talk. Experience the rewind with the Odyssey app. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. So glad that you are here with us on 97.1 FM Talk. Interesting that the president has made an announcement just a little bit earlier today. And I want to go to that speech and give a little bit to you straight from the president's mouth. Now, if you are listening to us on the Odyssey app, of course, you can always rewind and check the podcast later. But also want to encourage you to join us on the Annie Frey Show Facebook page and the Annie Frey YouTube channel, because as we're listening to just a little snippet here of the president's speech on what he's going to do with the American investment in Russian oil, you can comment along here because I'd love to know your thoughts on it. Brad, let's get to the speech here and listen in.
The United States is targeting the main artery of Russia's economy. We're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another powerful blow to Putin's war machine. This is a move that has strong bipartisan support in Congress and, I believe, in the country. Americans have rallied to support their Ukrainian people and made it clear we will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war. We made this decision in close consultation with our allies and our partners around the world, particularly in Europe, because a united response to Putin's aggression has been my overriding focus, to keep all NATO and all of the EU and our allies totally united. We're moving forward with this ban, understanding that many of our European allies and partners may not be in a position to join us. The United States produces far more oil domestically than all the European countries combined. In fact, we're a net exporter of energy. So we can take this step when others cannot. But we're working closely with Europe and our partners to develop a long-term strategy to reduce their dependence on Russian energy as well. Our teams are actively discussing how to make this happen, and today we remain united. We remain united in our purpose to keep pressure mounting on Putin and his war machine. This is a step that we're taking to inflict further pain on Putin, but there will be cost as well here in the United States. I said I would level with the American people from the beginning. And when I first spoke to this, I said defending freedom is going to cost. It's going to cost us as well in the United States. Republicans and Democrats understand that. Republicans and Democrats alike have been clear that we must do this. Over the last week, I've spoken with President Zelensky several times to hear from him about the situation on the ground and to consult and continue to consult with our European allies and about U.S. support for Ukraine and the Ukrainian people. Thus far, we've provided more than $1 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. Shipments of defensive weapons are arriving in Ukraine every day from the United States, and we, the United States, are the ones coordinating the delivery of our allies and partners of similar weapons, from Germany to Finland to the Netherlands. We're working that out. We're also providing humanitarian support for the Ukrainian people, both those still in Ukraine and those who have fled safely to a neighboring country. We're working with humanitarian organizations to surge tens of thousands of tons of food, water, and medical supplies into Ukraine, and with more on the way. Over the weekend, I sent Secretary Blinken to visit the border between Poland and Ukraine and to Moldova to see what the situation was firsthand and report back. General Milley, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff of our Defense Department, was also in Europe, meeting with his counterparts and allies on NATO's eastern flank to reassure them, those countries bordering Russia, NATO countries, that we will keep our NATO commitment, the sacred commitment of Article 5. The Vice President Harris is going to be traveling to meet with our allies in Poland and Romania later this week as well. I've made it clear the United States will share in the responsibility of caring for the refugees, so the costs do not fall entirely on the European countries bordering Ukraine. And yesterday, I spoke with my counterparts in France, Germany, and the United Kingdom about Russia's escalating violence against Ukraine and the steps that we're going to take together with our allies and partners around the world to respond to this aggression. We are enforcing the most significant package of economic sanctions in history, and it's causing significant damage to Russia's economy. It has caused Russian economy to frankly, crater. The Russian ruble is now down to 50%, by 50% since Putin's announced his war. 1 ruble is now worth less than 1 American penny. 1 ruble is less than 1 American penny. And preventing Russia's central bank from propping up the ruble and to keep its value up. They're not going to be able to do that now. We cut the Russians' largest banks from the international financial system, and it has crippled their ability to do business with the rest of the world. In addition, we're choking off Russia's access to technology like semiconductors and sap its economic strength and weaken its military for years to come. Major companies are pulling out of Russia entirely without even being asked, not by us. Over the weekend, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, they all suspended their services in Russia, all of them. Joining a growing list of American and global companies from Ford to Nike to Apple, they've suspended their operations in Russia. The U.S. Stock Exchange has halted trading of many Russian securities. And the private sector is united against Russia's vicious war of choice. The U.S. Department of Justice has assembled a dedicated task force to go after the crimes of Russian oligarchs. And we're joining with our European allies to find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets, and all their ill-begotten gains to make sure that they share in the pain of Putin's war. These, by the way, are giant yachts. You've put some of them in your press. I mean, some of them are, I think I read one was over 400 feet long. I mean, this is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The decision today is not without cost here at home. Putin's war is already hurting American families at the gas pump. Since Putin began his military buildup on Ukrainian borders, just since then, the price of the gas at the pump in America went up 75 cents. And with this action, it's going to go up further. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home. In coordination with our partners, we've already announced that we're releasing 60 million barrels of oil from our joint oil reserves. Half of that, 30 million, is coming from the United States. And we're taking steps to ensure the reliable supply of global energy. We're also going to keep working with every tool at our disposal to protect American families and businesses.
President Biden speaking from the White House today, listing off an array of different things that is going to happen here as he has cut off Russian oil from entering the United States. I want to go back to, this is early February of 2021, one Jen Psaki.
Just wondering what the fate are of other proposed projects, including if the president supports Governor Whitmer's calls to scrap a pipeline that cuts through Michigan, powers up the Great Lakes and into Ontario. Does he support her calls to cancel that?
I have not talked to our climate team about specifically that pipeline. Of course, I think we've noted that a number are under review, but I will see if there's an update on that particular pipeline.
Trump also approved permits that would carry oil from the Canadian territories into Alaska. Is that under review or?
I think, again, all of these pipelines are part of what our climate team is looking at and assessing. I haven't seen another update from them on an additional step, but I will see if there are any updates.
It wasn't just the Keystone Pipeline. It wasn't just that one. And when we listen to what people were saying over and over and over about the Keystone Pipeline, it was always about jobs.
Yes, ma'am. I was hired previously, a few months ago when President Trump signed off for it to go and it was going to go, and I was hired to work. It was actually supposed to start next month. And I was actually hired on the Keystone when President Obama was in office, and it got canceled that time. I was hired on it then too. This is all I know how to do. I spent my whole life learning this craft and this skill, and it's not as easy as somebody might think, or people might think, to just start all over at 45 years old.
So there you have a worker, somebody who was hired onto the Keystone Pipeline under Obama, and then somebody who that same person was hired on under Trump, canceled under both of these administrations, Obama and Biden. The idea of being energy independent was an idea that was no longer an idea. It was implemented. We were on our way. The previous administration, love them or hate them, the previous administration had done this. It was achieved, and it was going to be expanded. The kind of independence that it takes to enjoy freedom, these Democrats don't want you to have, and they don't want you to have it at the altar of the climate god. It is an altar that they worship at. And I'm a Christian. I have faith, and I understand that faith is seeing without believing. I understand that faith means, in the God that I believe in, that faith means I have literature that tells me what I believe is to be God-breathed. But at a certain point, it's just up to me to just have faith, to just believe in it. These Democrats, the ones who are in charge of the United States of America, are worshiping at the altar of the climate god. And when they are doing that, they are sacrificing the country on this same altar. For what? Point to me where in the United States of America we have gone into a full-fledged Green New Deal way of thinking, and it has actually benefited the people of that area. California has rolling blackouts. California has wildfires that they can't keep up with. Nothing that California is doing over there is an exemplary proof positive of what these leftists, these far progressive leftists that are kneeling and genuflecting at the altar of the climate god, they have no proof. And in the meantime, the people who are the highest Pharisees of this church, the people who are the most revered prophets of what the climate god is and teaches us, are building oceanfront properties on islands It makes no sense. And they jet set across the world, not just like from, here to the Ozarks. It's not like that, folks. It's way, way worse. And they're incredibly wealthy. And when doofuses like Pete Buttigieg, who's in charge of infrastructure, which I will remind you that you remember the whole thing? Like, what is infrastructure? Everything is infrastructure. Everything became infrastructure. When you listen to what these people who are now in charge, they've been given the keys to the kingdom. When you listen to what they say, they just say, buy an electric vehicle, you'll be fine.
Clean transportation can bring significant cost savings for the American people as well. Last month, we announced a $5 billion investment to build out a nationwide electric vehicle charging network so that people from rural to suburban to urban communities can all benefit from the gas savings of driving an EV.
The gas savings. It's not the gas savings. They're saving the climate. These people are telling you that they're saving the world and that when you buy an electric vehicle, you are saving the world. Brad, I have a feeling you're smarter than me at this. But if you want to eliminate coal and you want to operate an electric vehicle, is that a successful endeavor?
It's not going to work with the current power grid that we have now. No, we can't. California, you mentioned California. California went to green energy. They shut down nuclear reactors. They shut down
the
coal.
Cleanest energy there is.
Right. They went to what they called that, and they can't support their power grid as it sits now. Now, if you start adding a bunch of EVs and supercharger stations to that, it's just going to collapse under the weight of it. You can't do it.
I got to check with my buddy Mike over at CA Jones. I don't know if it passed. I don't know if it's, he might be listening right now because he listens all the time. CAJonesinc.com, folks. Go buy a house from them. There's a simple pitch. I think that the state of Illinois was looking or did implement the requirement for home builders to equip each home with the necessary chargers for, I want to say it's, if you've got a 3-car garage, you need 3 charging ports. And I don't know that the energy that a house has right now can withstand that. And the house has to be built for it. I think. I'm going to get clarification on that. Have you ever heard that?
I haven't heard that, but I know with the EVs, you can charge them on, you could plug them in with an extension cord, but the amount of time it would take to recharge the batteries in that is just astronomical. So you need to have these higher, I think it's 220 volt outlets and all that other stuff to get the batteries to charge in a fast enough time, actually.
So you can go places flee the apocalypse. You guys, they want you to participate in their religion. I'm not there for it. I have a God. It isn't government. It isn't the climate crisis. And it certainly aren't these people who are in charge right now. It just isn't. Everything that's taking place in Russia right now, everything that's taking place in Ukraine right now would be different if this president didn't overturn all of the energy policies that President Trump had in play on day one of his presidency. Folks, it was Biden's number one objective. His number one objective. And before I let you go, a reminder, we asked Jen Psaki, the press asked Jen Psaki, why won't you get started on this process now? Why don't you start building that pipeline now? She said it would take too long. I guess we've wasted some time. If you get started on that pipeline right now, it would benefit the United States of America in immeasurable ways. Look what your actions, Biden administration, have done, not to the country, to the world. It's pretty awful. We've got a full show today, so I want you to stick with us. If you can't stick with us, the Odyssey app is a great way to just go back and rewind if you missed something that you wanted to hear. Stephen Moore, not with us yesterday because I was off, so we asked if he would come on today. Stephen Moore is going to come on and talk to us about how this Russian oil ban is going to affect the economy in the country. I'm excited to hear Stephen Moore's take about that, among many other things. Jim Carafano to give us the update on the Ukrainian invasion. And then at 1:25, I'm very excited to welcome in studio Richard Irvin, Mayor Irvin from Aurora, who is running as a Republican for governor to challenge J.B. Pritzker, one of the many Republicans running in that primary. He's going to be in studio here with us. I would love your questions. Comment them on the Annie Frey YouTube, the Annie Frey Show Facebook. We're going to set those comments aside. Hannah's looking for them right now, and we'll ask him some of those in the 1 o'clock hour. It's 12:25 right now. Donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. History looks back on times like this. Where do you stand? 97.1 FM Talk is here to spotlight what would otherwise be left in the dark. Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. Michael is the carpet guy. He is the hardwood guy, the laminate guy, the tile guy. He is your flooring guy, and he's local, which makes him our guy. He's a St. Louis person. His family owns and operates Michael's Flooring Outlet. They've been able to expand over the course of the 7 years, I think. I know it's over a quarter century that they have been in business. It's a family-owned business succeeding here in St. Louis because of people like you. People who understand that buying local means something, that you're helping your neighbors, and then, in turn, they shop local as well, and that helps the area grow. St. Charles County, West County, and Darien Prairie, those are the places that you can go to visit one of the in-store, in-person Michael's Flooring Outlet locations. But if you go to igotfloored.com right now, that's igotfloored.com, you can peruse their in-stock inventory. You can see how to get a free estimate for your home. You can take in whatever you need to do. Plus, I want to highlight that Mohawk Smart Strand carpet that they have, especially the Forever Clean with All Pet. If you've met my Rosie, she sheds like crazy, and you need to know that your carpet is gonna withstand the test of time because you love your dog more than you love your carpet. But if you get that Mohawk, you might love it pretty close. Visit them online to igotfloored.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Wealth changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring all aspects of your wealth are working harder together so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
There's a big red barn where you say green. Norm's Bargain Barn. On discount windows, doors, and things. Norm's Bargain Barn.
Hi, I'm Norm Wilkie. Come see my new selection of Amish cabinetry made by my good Amish friends at Countrywood Products. We now stock 5 styles of cabinetry for you to choose from.
When you need to save on discount windows, doors, and cabinetry, come to Norm's Bargain Barn with locations in Shiloh and Fenton at the bottom of Gravois Bluffs. Visit normsbargainbarn.com.
That's normsbargainbarn.com.
Odyssey celebrates Women's History Month. Serena Williams is one of the most dominating tennis players of all time, and she's still making her mark. She won a whopping 23 Grand Slam singles titles and is the only American ever to win more than 20 majors. She was named the AP's Female Athlete of the Decade for the 2010s and the Tennis Channel's greatest women's tennis player of all time. Odyssey, celebrating remarkable women. For more, check out our exclusive station, She Sings, on the Odyssey app.
With PatriotSoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
Mike Chappell here, serial entrepreneur. Let's make sure your current payroll provider isn't overcharging you, shall we? First, go to your payroll provider's website to see what you're currently paying. Oh, what's that? You can't clearly see your pricing because your vendor is running a temporary sale or making you call for a free quote? That's unfortunate. If you go to patriotsoftware.com, you will instantly see our payroll pricing for companies with 1 to 100 employees. Well, there you go. At least now you know what you should be paying for payroll. Go to patriotsoftware.com. Use promo code RADIO and get 2 months of payroll processing free. That's patriotsoftware.com.
With patriotsoftware.com, accounting and payroll, keep your time and money.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Falling, he goes, and he cries all night.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production. That's simply not true. Even amid the pandemic, companies in the United States pumped more oil during my first year in office than they did during my predecessor's first year. We're approaching a record levels of oil and gas production in the United States, and we're on track to set a record oil production next year.
President Biden from the White House earlier today announcing a ban on Russian oil, energy. That's what Stephen Moore has been saying that this is about. And I guess, weeks, months later, the president finally takes Stephen Moore's advice from FreedomWorks with us today on Tuesday instead of a Monday. Thank you for making some time with us, Stephen. Great to have you back.
Hey, Eddie, good to be with you. And look, I'm frustrated because, this should have been the policy. Was the announcement formally made today? I know that he was supposed to make this announcement that we're not going to import any more oil from Russia. We should never have been importing any oil from Russia. Under Trump, we weren't importing Russia or petroleum products from Russia because we were producing it here at home. That is the most bizarre, crazy quote that you paid from Joe Biden. Is there anybody who actually believes that? Every single action he has taken since he was president, his first order when he became executive order when he became president was to kill the Keystone XL pipeline. They've taken hundreds of thousands of acres off line for drilling. They've passed these new environmental rules, which make it extraordinarily difficult to build the infrastructure we need, whether it's LNG terminals, whether it's pipelines. They've appointed people to the energy regulatory commissions that basically say we want to bankrupt the oil and gas industry. Now, do those sound like the policies of someone who's drill, baby, drill?
No, but one thing that I've noticed, whether I'm talking to you about the economy or maybe Jim Carafano about the military situations or any other expert, is everything Biden does is reactionary and political. There's nothing that has to do with policy. It's all about how do I make this look good for me or how do I make it look not so bad for me?
Well, what's really interesting, I am extremely angry right now at what has happened to our country. So yesterday we had the news that I literally spilled my coffee when I read it when I got up yesterday morning that Biden had sent an envoy over to Caracas, Venezuela.
Yes.
To persuade the Venezuelans to increase their oil output. That's one of the most immoral, brutal regimes in the world. They are they're starving to death their own people in Venezuela, and we're going over there and asking them to increase their oil output. Well, I've got an idea, Allie. Why doesn't he send a secret envoy over to Austin, Texas, and have the Texas governor increase his oil output? I'm sure he'd be very open-minded to that.
You'd have to point it out on a map.
Exactly. Folks, we've got a situation now where we're pleading with Saudi Arabia, Iran, and Venezuela to increase their oil output, but we're not increasing our oil output. In fact, we've been reducing it in Texas, Oklahoma, North Dakota, Alaska, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. This is the most absurd anti-American policy I've ever seen. We now have gas prices that are headed to $4.50 a gallon. We were paying $2.60 a gallon when Trump left office. And it is a blatant lie for him to say we're producing more oil and gas than ever. No, we're still almost 1 million barrels a day, less than we were peak under Trump. So how does he get away with, where are the fact checkers?
I think they're stunned. I got to ask you this because I remember when President Biden was elected and he's talking to all my guests, like, give us some like glimmer of light here. And you made the comment that, you thought I think you said you thought he was a good man and you think he's a moderate and that you hope that he will govern as one. For the people who feared what this administration could be, regardless of where anybody ever was on Trump, the fear of what a Biden administration could be, I couldn't have imagined us being in this moment right now.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me that, because I did. I went, look, I was for Trump. I did everything. I worked for Trump, and I thought he was a great president. He made mistakes. Every president makes mistakes, but he put America first. But I thought, okay, well, at least Biden. We're not electing Bernie Sanders. Frankly, right now, I'd rather have Bernie Sanders in office than Biden. Biden has moved so far to the left. He's a captive to the radical green agenda. He is. I can't think of too many things that he's done right on the economy. And I really worry about our country right now. I mean, we need toughness. We need firm resolve. We should have made this decision 2 weeks ago, about Russian oil. We should have never become dependent on it in the first place. By the way, the Europeans, Annie, are not blameless here either. I mean, go to YouTube. You can look at the tape. You can look at the video where Trump is wagging his fingers at the Germans.
At the UN, yeah.
Do not become dependent. And remember, do not become dependent on Russia, oil, and gas. You're making a deal with the devil. They laughed at him. You can see it on the video. They laughed at him. Now I bet they wish they'd taken his advice.
Yeah. It is like show stopping right now. I'm curious, I as I understand it, you work more in policy, but you've been around politics for quite some time. I mean, you were with the Trump administration. A lot of people say, what would Trump do if he were in this situation? I don't know that we'd be in this situation if he were the president.
Exactly.
But what's your thoughts on that?
Even a poll shows, even on The Hill did a poll over the weekend. 62% of Americans believe, as I do and you do, that if Donald Trump were president today, that there's no way that Putin would have invaded Ukraine. And the vast majority of Americans agree with us on this because Trump would not have tolerated this. And we are tough now with our allies, and we're weaklings with our enemies. And we're paying out. Didn't I tell you on this show 6 months ago, we'd be paying a high price with respect to our national security for what happened in Afghanistan. Remember, we talked about that.
Yeah. I'm curious. You're the economic master, which is why we have you on each week. Are the economic sanctions that this country is putting on Russia going to make a difference?
No, unfortunately, not much, because the Europeans are going to buy the oil that we don't buy. We needed to get an agreement with the Europeans to isolate Russia, but the Russians, just as Trump warned, they're like held hostage to oil. And by the way, then you ask the question, well, how did Europe get in this situation? Europe used to be a major producer of oil and gas. And this is a cautionary tale, folks. Listen up closely. This is important. Europe, about 15 years ago, was producing a lot of oil and gas. And then they succumbed to the radical green movement. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah.
And they reduced their oil and gas production. And lo and behold, just as you and I and others predicted, the green energy movement didn't work. It's just you can't produce enough reliable and affordable energy to be for industrial countries. So then they had to shift back, but they'd already closed down their oil and gas. And so, they had to get it from Russia. Now, here's the other thing that's going on. Now Biden is changing his tune on energy, saying to the energy companies, oh, okay, you can drill, you can do that. Well, you know what? I've talked to 3 oil executives in the last couple of days. They said, no, we're not buying this. You can't have a green light, red light, green light, red light. You think people are going to invest millions and millions, in some cases, billions of dollars
in
oil and gas exploration when all of a sudden, you can drill. Oh, no, you can't drill. You can't. I thought, there's no rebuilding the Keystone XL pipeline. It's dead. The people who built it said, no, we're done. We're done. Biden killed it for good. So it's like we have to completely start over. It is outrageous. We need a policy. I have a piece with Newt Gingrich. It's Steve Moore, Newt Gingrich, Steve Forbes, and KT McFarland. May know her. She's a foreign policy expert. And we were calling for an Operation Warp Speed initiative to get America back to energy independence. I don't know if that can happen under Biden, but that's what needs to happen.
Real quick before we let you go, we're speaking with Stephen Moore with FreedomWorks. I just want to get your thoughts on the direction that the Democratic Party has gone. And I'm using that barometer of you calling Biden a moderate, which I think he was, but the influence of the far left of the Democratic Party has sunk the whole party. We don't hear from AOC right now. We don't hear from the squad. We don't hear from these far leftists. In my opinion, that means what they're saying doesn't matter when the grown-up issues are at hand. And if we don't need them now, I don't think we need them when times are good. And I'm wondering if you think this is going to affect the Democratic Party overall.
Well, I think one thing the Democratic Party has to come to grips with, and they have not yet, is will they rid themselves of the albatross of the radical climate change agenda? This climate change agenda has been ruinous for the Democratic Party. Americans do want to do something about climate change, but they don't want to completely dismantle American energy. I mean, did you see Pete Buttigieg yesterday saying, don't worry, you don't have to worry about high gas prices. We've got electrical vehicles coming. I'm like, what is he talking about?
With all our extra money. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I mean, and tell you, do you have $60,000, $70,000, Annie, to buy an electric vehicle car? Because that's how much these things cost. Yeah. How many middle class people could buy one? Even Elon Musk, who is the biggest promoter of electric vehicles in the world, has chastised Biden and said, what are you doing cutting off our oil and gas? Yeah, we're going to, maybe in 20 years we'll transition to electric vehicles, but we need oil and gas now. Now, I know we're running out of time. I want to make one other quick point. Did you happen to see this letter that Senator Menendez, who's a liberal Democrat from New Jersey, wrote to Biden? Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
So this is really interesting because it's the first time in 14 months that you've seen a major Democrat really break ranks and attack Biden. And what he said, and people should look at that letter, he basically said, this is a liberal Democrat from New Jersey in the Senate, said, how dare you consort with the enemy in Caracas, Venezuela, in the Maduro administration. These are evil people. Shame on you for doing this. And I applaud Menendez, but that's the first time I've seen a major Democrat break ranks with Biden. And I think you're seeing more of it in weeks and months to come, because what Biden has done with respect to our national security, our energy security, and our economy is just indefensible.
Stephen Moore, is always a pleasure to have you on here. I want to encourage people to check out your book.
I wish I had better news, but I'm just
we'll get there.
I'm so angry right now, and I'm usually a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, but I don't understand how anyone can possibly justify these decisions that Biden has made to dismantle our energy capacity in this country.
Well, the praying people will pray, Stephen. That's where I am right now. Thank you so much for the time today. We appreciate you. Go check out his book, Govzilla, How the Relentless Growth of Government is Devouring Our Economy and Our Freedom. Man, climate change has definitely got to be in there somewhere. The as I said in the first hour, the religion that climate change has become for the leftists who now control our country. They do. They control it. They'll control it in full until potentially January of next year. Ladies and gentlemen, register yourselves to vote. If you haven't, that's the most powerful thing you can do today. And the most powerful thing you can do tomorrow is take somebody else to register to vote. We're going to take a quick break. Wiggins America, when we come back, please stick with us. We would love to hear some of your reaction to what's going on, a lively chat going on in the Andy Frey YouTube channel right now. In the 1 o'clock hour, Jim Carafano on the latest of what is taking place in Ukraine and also the China influence and partnership with Russia. And at 1:25, Richard Irvin running for governor in the state of Illinois. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe. The Mark Cox Morning Show.
A North Carolina woman is fighting the state's DMV to keep an unusual personalized license plate. F-A-R-T.
That's
Who
brilliant.
cares? That isn't a curse word. It's just, I mean, it just
Everybody
shows.
does it. Weekday mornings 5 to 9.
What is going on the Mark Cox Morning Show? I have can they come be on our show too? I want Denise on my show. That's hilarious. That's not why I'm here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to you about Hunter Johnson Orthodontics. If you are looking to get your teeth straight, if you're looking for the oral health that is a step past going to your general dentist, I want you to look into Hunter Johnson Orthodontics. HunterJohnsonOrtho.com is the website. And these are first and foremost good people. And I love partnering with different types of service providers because we're all one big happy family right now. So if you're looking for orthodontics and you go to HenshaJohnsonOrtho.com to figure out how to set up an appointment there, super easy to do. It's going to be part of the Annie Frey Show family, and that's you and that's them. And it's a way that we can all support one another. That's really cool to me, but at the same time, they are the very best. In the bi-state region, people driving from both sides of the river to go to Henshaw Johnson Orthodontics to get that corrected smile. Now, we've all had masks on for a long time. Okay, yes, I know not all of us. Many of us have had masks on for a long time. Your kiddos have had masks on in the classroom, and thank God we've pushed that away here as of late. These smiles, they're shining through, and you need to make sure that dental health is fully taken care of. Reach out to Henshaw Johnson Ortho. You can give them a call at 618-400-0900. That's 618-400-0900. Online at HenshawJohnsonOrtho.com.
Hi, this is Ken.
And Lori Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
If you're retiring soon, join us Saturday at 9:30 a.m. for your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Hey guys, it's the new year. Are you still struggling with erectile dysfunction? I've yet to meet anyone that enjoys timing those intimate moments around a pill. Well, now you don't have to. The advanced wave technology at Pineview Medical has been shown by Cambridge University and the Cleveland Clinic to restore and even regrow blood vessels. It can improve circulation and eliminate erectile dysfunction. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us in the next 2 minutes and you'll receive a consultation, assessment, and blood flow ultrasound free, plus a special gift that produces immediate results in the bedroom. You're going to love that. Trust me. This is a $600 value, free to callers now. 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, get rid of your ED and get that spark back. Call Pineview Medical now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. When it comes to your tax issues, why would you trust some faceless national company that uses cartoons in its ads to protect you? Tax problems are not funny and should not be treated lightly. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue and you need a lawyer that will protect your rights. You can't meet face-to-face with a cartoon, and what happens if the national company can't resolve your issue and stops returning calls? Do yourself a favor and call the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. I am a local attorney specializing in tax resolution. You can come in and sit down with a licensed, experienced attorney and put a name with a face. When it comes to tax issues, don't go with a cartoon. Get serious help with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Back in the car and back on the road. We're with you. Dependable traffic with Sue Thomas. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company. The best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. So Friday we had a jelly bean debacle where we had spicy jelly beans and we all agreed together to eat these jelly beans on the air, and Brian totally blew it.
I did.
Yeah, I looked at the video over the weekend and I was zoned out. I just popped them in.
So I'm taking over Wiggins America.
Okay.
And you're going to try another food thing, which I have already.
I'm up for that.
This is not bad. This could be
No,
worse.
I'm usually
and your
completely fine.
And your topic is good, so we'll do it at 2:00. So you can have a longer segment. Hannah, come in here. Remember me talking about the Casey's donut Diet Coke pairing?
Yes.
I remember.
I don't remember. Can you explain it again, though? I remember the foods.
A blueberry iced donut.
Okay.
And a Diet Coke or a Diet Pepsi. That's what we have in here. And I brought some. And I did this one time on accident because I like a plain cake donut with white icing. It's my favorite donut.
Okay.
We stop at Casey's every once in a while on a Saturday and get the kids' donut. That's the donut I get. And at the time I was drinking a lot of soda, trying not to do that now. Had a Diet Pepsi. Ate the cake donut, thinking it was a vanilla white cake donut. And it was a blueberry donut. Shocking. Took a swig of Diet Pepsi to wash it down. And to me, it tasted exactly like the smell of skunk.
Okay.
Oh boy. So I did this earlier when Brad wasn't here. I was like, I wonder if that was like a moment or if that's so I don't know if it's going to be as impactful for you because part of this shock for me was that I was expecting a white cake donut and it was a blueberry donut, but the combination of blueberry donut and diet soda is stinky skunk.
Okay. Okay. So you're going to retry this because last time it tasted so weird. Or you already did?
I did.
Okay.
I did it.
Oh, we have it already pre-served.
Okay.
I did it just in case if I was like completely wrong, then we wouldn't waste the time.
Okay. So
here's your donuts.
All right. We've all got donuts. You know what's weird, Annie, is that of all the sweet things I like, blueberry is not a flavor I typically choose, and neither is diet soda. But so I don't know that I'll be a great barometer for how this is.
Blueberries, natural and diet soda. That's two things.
Yeah, right. the less natural it is. Although that would include diet soda, but I don't choose that. All right. Annie is serving as we speak.
Are we supposed to wait or can we just do this at whenever?
So I get the big cup. No, I eat the donut first, then the diet soda.
So the way I did it is this is from Casey's. So this is a Casey's donut, which I love Casey's. I am currently drinking some Casey's coffee, which is on my way to work. Gas is $3.99 right. No, $4.39 right there. It was $3.99 in Missouri. I took a bite of the donut and then it shocked me because it was blueberry. So go ahead and take a bite of the donut. And I was like, whoa, what is that? That's not a white cake donut. So then I washed it down with some Diet Pepsi. So, and see if it's kind of like a hits you in the back end type of a thing, like something that's spicy. And all of a sudden there's this like aroma in your mouth of skunk. Do you get this at all? Your face is showing me like it's not pleasant.
It doesn't pair well.
No, it does not.
But if we're talking about wines and cheeses, these are not.
This is not the wine and the cheese.
No, this isn't. I mean, knowing that it's a blueberry donut was probably half the battle.
Yeah.
And I did.
You know, I can see where you're getting skunk.
It's a little more like at the end, like when the Diet Pepsi or Coke is kind of like
back at the
throat. It's like there's an essence of skunk left behind, and you're like, what's happening?
It's like the carbonation of the.
Is it bizarre?
Yes.
Are we creating a challenge here?
I want to make the Casey's challenge, and I want Casey's to sponsor our show in trade. So I can bring you guys breakfast pizza and get coffee.
I would love that because they do have really good food, and Casey's is everywhere we broadcast.
For a blueberry donut, it's a delicious blueberry donut.
Absolutely, and pizza, breakfast pizza. Oh my gosh,
the best pizza.
I really think it's the diet soda that
is.
really drives the skunk taste.
It's not just you.
Do you feel that? Do you kind of get? I mean, it's not like you lick the skunk's behind, but I mean, I wouldn't know.
No, there's something about the blueberries and it being a cake donut instead of a yeast donut that is a little drier, and then adding the diet soda, which has kind of an off. I don't know. I don't drink diet soda.
It's like a chemically kind of a thing that pairs with the donut that is bizarro.
It's funny that we're doing this and also saying, Casey's, we want you to sponsor us. Go to Casey's and taste this awful thing.
Which is why I want to say that the donut in and of itself is delicious.
I'm going to continue to eat
I don't
the donut.
like it.
It's great.
I don't even like blueberry donuts. This is a great
Me
donut.
either. And it's really good.
So you should go. If anybody does this, I would love you to take a picture of yourself with a blueberry donut and a Diet Coke, and then, try that. And maybe get a coffee so that you can have the coffee with the donut, or a piece of pizza that you can have the pizza with the Diet Pepsi or whatever it is.
You know, Casey's, somebody at Casey's knows how to pair these things really well. I would love if somehow we could get Casey's like internal, like, here's what we really recommend.
We should do Casey's pairings ourselves.
I'm fine with that. We can make our own
new
list.
Friday segment.
Yes. Today's
Absolutely.
And we'll do it with some hoity-toity music in the background, like we're fancy people, but we're not. We're not that Casey's isn't fancy, but it's not. They sell bait.
We'll serve the Diet Coke Diet Coke or Pepsi.
That was, I thought the first time that I did Diet Coke, but I don't know why I would have done that because Diet Pepsi is, I'm a Pepsi person.
Okay.
Regardless of politics,
Brian's
people.
having to wash it down with water.
We're good.
Isn't it kind of hanging out?
Yeah,
It
it's
does.
chilling there.
Aren't you glad you experienced that?
Yes. Thank you
Kind
for
of.
that. I appreciate
Because it's
it.
not ever something I would have. I always like exploring flavors and doing things. I would have never thought to go to Casey's to experience something different because
Neither
that
would
is
I.
different.
I thought I was getting a white donut.
Yeah.
And
You
a
know,
Diet Coke.
We should do this with Buzz Bombs or those Buzz Buds and then do this.
Oh, yeah.
and
Like
watch
we did,
happens.
6 months ago?
Oh, man.
That was weird.
Yes.
I've still got those,
What's
by
a
the way.
buzz bead?
Oh, was this before you?
This is pre-Hannah.
Oh, man.
Do you still have them?
I still have the sour candy, too.
I do still have them. So this was a little...
Explain what they are because Hannah's not the only person listening that doesn't
now
know
these
what
are
I'm talking
kind of hoity-toity. So you go to a nice restaurant if they have them. Most don't, but this one that I went to in South City, they grew their own buzz buttons. They're these little flowers, and you chew it up before you take your drinks. And really, you can do it before anything. But once you chew it up, it kind of numbs your mouth and your tongue, so that everything you taste for about 2 minutes afterwards tastes completely different.
I'm a meat and taters type of girl, but I actually have experienced these because there's a drink at the Ogus Cantina in the Star Wars land of Disney World that has it's called a fuzzy tauntaun, and it has the foam on the top is from Buzz Buttons, and when you drink it, it numbs your mouth and makes it tingle.
I did not know that. I don't think we talked. Did
yes,
we?
we did. I was like, yes, I have had these, and you're like, no way, and I was like, yes way.
Well, I'm still
And you're
surprised.
Like, no way.
It's like we're doing it again. It's
You
all
could
new.
podcast the show. It's on the
I
Odyssey
will.
app or anywhere you get podcasts. Annie Fry Show. You were on that show, Ryan, but you could still podcast it too. Jim Carafano and Richard Irvin in the next hour. Don't go away.
When Richard Irvin decided to take on Pritzker for governor, he wasn't following a whim. He was answering a long familiar call to duty. Irvin joined the Army out of high school, served in Desert Storm, decorated for bravery. Surviving a brush with death in a dangerous war zone, Richard dedicated his life to service because he loves his country and knows how fragile freedom and security are. As a prosecutor, Irvin put thugs behind bars, drug dealers, gangbangers, 1,000 convictions, hired more cops, and cleaned up crime as mayor, balanced budgets, passed property tax relief. When riotous looters came to town, Irvin shut them down. He knows we'll lose the country he fought for if the radical woke mob takes control. Irvin says all lives matter, that schools shouldn't teach kids to be ashamed of their color or country, that we'll take our state back if we have strong, service-minded leadership. And that's Richard Irvin, our next governor, paid for by Irvin for Illinois.
Home warranty. I know, right? Buying coverage for appliances, your heater and AC, etc., from a company that hopes you never ever have a claim or call. Let me introduce you to a real home warranty company, the kind that actually wants to help you. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance. Upkeep visit your home 4 times a year to maintain your appliances and equipment. You will never get a lack of maintenance denial because Upkeep does the maintenance. Also nice, Upkeep assigns you one point person to help you. You won't be passed around like an office hot potato, and you won't get subcontractors. Upkeep does all their work, so there's no blame game. Just experts helping you. Visit upkeepstl.com today and type in 971 for $100 off. Don't be denied. Instead, be relieved. Upkeep Home Warranty and Maintenance, 636-387-7331.
Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep. Keep up your home with Upkeep, and you'll have a happy home.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Marvin Mitchell and the team at Compass Retirement Solutions calls this mailbox money. It's a monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Marvin Mitchell and the Compass Retirement Solutions team at 314-382-5252 373-1598 to start working on a plan that can help you create the monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call 314-373-1598 right now and schedule a visit with Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
This is a Fox News alert. A verdict in the Capitol riot on Lisa Brady. The first person to stand trial over last year's attack on the U.S. Capitol has just been found guilty on all counts. Guy Wesley Reffitt of Texas, convicted of storming the Capitol with a holstered handgun, interfering with officers, and obstructing justice for threatening his children if they reported him. Prosecutors said the 49-year-old lit the fire that allowed others to overwhelm officers. The defense presented no witnesses and argued Reffitt was only guilty of entering a restricted area. Meantime, the leader of the Proud Boys, who wasn't at the Capitol that day, is hit with a conspiracy charge.
Enrique Tarrio is suspected of being part of planning a coordinated attack on the U.S. Capitol. He and at least 36 others connected to the Proud Boys have now been charged for roles in the Capitol Hill siege.
Fox's Gernal Scott putting the squeeze on President Putin, the Russian leader, facing another day of financial hits as he keeps bombing Ukraine. McDonald's, one of the latest companies to act, temporarily closing all of its restaurants in Russia. And Russian oil is now off the market in the U.S.
President Biden is banning the imports of Russian oil, gas, and energy, ratcheting up sanctions in response to the invasion of Ukraine.
We will not be part of subsidizing Putin's war.
In remarks, the president conceded many European allies may not take similar steps and says there will be an impact to American drivers.
We understand Putin's war against the people of Ukraine is causing prices to rise. We get that. That's self-evident.
President Biden says the administration is taking steps to ease inflation and record high gas prices. The U.S. imported about 245 million barrels of crude oil and petroleum products from Russia last year.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. That announcement just before the president was heading to Texas, where he's scheduled to talk about veterans' health care. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Tuesday afternoon with below average temperatures, a mix of clouds and sunshine. I think we'll top out at best at 49 degrees. Tonight, lots of clouds in place, 30 degrees. Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Now it's a cold start Wednesday morning, but a little bit warmer Wednesday afternoon, 55, 59, 60 on Thursday. But here comes winter on Friday, clouds, 38 degrees with snow, sleet, and rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It's happening right here, right now.
We remain united. We remain united in our purpose to keep pressure mounting on Putin.
Reliance on a single foreign supplier can leave a nation vulnerable to extortion and intimidation.
But there will be cost as well here in the United States. I said I would level with the American people from the beginning. And when I first spoke to this, I said defending freedom is going to cost.
Right here, right now. 97.1 FM Talk.
The Closet Factory is waiting for your phone call because they've got a customized storage solution for you and for your trouble space. And I understand if your trouble space is trouble spaces. Certainly the case in my house. When they come into your home and you've got that area in that one room of your house, it's like, do you have a dining room in your house? But like, who has formal dining anymore? It sounds fun and like a lot of work. That formal dining room is now turned into your work from home space. And oh yeah, you try to exercise in there and you've got that formal dining room table in there just in case a formal dining party breaks out. You could use that room a lot smarter, couldn't you? You need that office space. You need room to exercise a few times a week. You need all this. And the Closet Factory can come into that specific situation, say, here's what we can do. And they can customize that space for your needs. They are so very good at looking at your needs and making that a reality. When you call them, tell them you mentioned or you heard about them on the Annie Frey Show, 314-961-4300, 314-961-4300, and get the project started today. You will be so very glad you did. I'm working on my next project with the Closet Factory as well. ClosetFactory.com.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. He'll show you how to participate in the market gains without ever losing a penny. Thomas is the official financial advisor of the Mark Cox Morning Show.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
The following is furnished by Retirement Planners of America. Past performance is no guarantee of future results.
The stock market has seen all-time highs this past year, but are we due for a crash? If so, does your retirement plan include an exit strategy? Call today at 866-374-0841 to schedule a free retirement assessment to learn about protecting your assets from a market collapse. That's 866-374-0841. 866-374-0841.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Odyssey.com is a universe of audio, and it's where you can download the app to stream 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it today and stream anytime from anywhere.
Where St. Louis comes to talk.
97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, River Views, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
I think that someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, we haven't seen any change in Mr. Putin's approach here to try to topple the government in Kyiv and to assume control, some occupying control over Ukraine. That continues to be what we see just watching it ourselves, what is his intent here. Now, we would obviously encourage a diplomatic path forward. You've seen Secretary Blinken in the region, including today. In fact, he's going to France today to try to encourage some sort of diplomatic path forward. There's still that option available to Mr. Putin. It's not really clear that he's very serious about trying to pursue that.
So John Kirby, the United States Assistant to the Secretary of Defense for Public Affairs, says that it's still an option on the table for Vladimir Putin if he wants to engage in some sort of diplomatic option. Doesn't feel like a lot of diplomacy taking place here. And I don't know that that's the way that Vladimir Putin speaks, but the man who's been following this and who we've been following in reaction to this is on with us right now. Jim Carafano joins us, the leading expert in national security and foreign policy at the Heritage Foundation. Jim, welcome back to the show.
Hey, it's great to be. I would say it's great to be with you, but with 44 million lives on the line, it's just very, and the misery and suffering that Putin's inflicting on people, it's just very difficult to muster that kind of happiness.
Yeah, it is hard to look for a bright side right now. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Just initial question of where we are in this war, what Putin's aggressions are going to lead to, and what the United States response should be. Big question. Your answer.
Well, I mean, it's very clear that he will double down to conquer all of Ukraine, and he doesn't care how many Ukrainians he has to kill and destroy that, and how many Russian body bags he has to send home. I mean, I don't think he has a plan B here, other than that he will continue to do that. And I say this, I don't say this to scare anybody. It's not my intent. I'm just pointing out that it is in Russian doctrine that if you run into military obstacles, that in their doctrine, it says it's okay to use chemical and tactical nuclear weapons. They have those weapons. They could use them. I'm not saying they will. I'm not saying they have a plan to. I'm just saying that that's what their doctrine says. And we don't know what Putin's going to do. I will say at this point, there doesn't seem to be any evidence to suggest that Putin is willing to extend the conflict beyond Ukraine. There's certainly no evidence that NATO is willing to get directly engaged in the conflict. I think the real rub here is this: look, as long as NATO can continue to funnel food and medical supplies and ammunition and weapons to the Ukrainians are going to fight. If for some reason the Russians are able to close the borders down and block that, then carrying on a conventional conflict will be incredibly difficult, if not impossible.
We're watching Vladimir Putin take over Ukraine effectively, and whether it extends past Ukraine or it doesn't. In the meantime, we have potentially, I'd be curious of your assessment of the situation, an even scarier potential threat in China, a stronger nation looking to potentially do the same thing to Taiwan. What is the President Xi Jinping doing, watching Russia right now? What's he learning from this moment?
Well, I talked to the China watchers. I mean, I think it was very clear in this is they didn't need, kind of a lesson from Russia on what to do on Taiwan, right? I mean, they're proceeding on their own course of action. I think what's much more interesting for the Chinese is the impact that Putin is having on Europe, because the biggest winner of a weakened and divided and distracted Europe is China. And so, Russia is essentially their stalking horse. So the Chinese want the Russians to be successful in Europe because that's actually good for them. It not only helps them there, but then, but they're going to do what they're going to do based on their own timeline. I think they're learning lessons that they probably didn't want to learn, right? So they, I think, like Putin, expected a lightning war, and they didn't expect the devastation to the Russian economy. They're out there having to defend Putin, defend the indefensible to the world and to their own people. That makes them look increasingly, irresponsible and illegitimate. So they've been put in an uncomfortable position here. And look, the costs that Russia, even with them making the explosive profits from oil, that's not going to compensate for all the costs that Russia's now incurred in this war. And the Chinese economy is not big enough to bail out. The real news is the Iran deal. I mean, this is the real thing, because if this administration says basically, well, now we need an Iran deal because we need Iranian oil, I mean, that is literally self-destructive in so many ways. First of all, to do an Iran deal, you have to open up the Iranian economy to the world. That means that Russia then has a backdoor to launder all its. So basically, every sanction that you put on Russia will be meaningless because there'll be a clean backdoor through Iran for them to get access to the global economy. The other thing is what is Iran going to do with all that money? They're going to buy weapons from Russia, which they'll be allowed to do under the Iran deal, which they will threaten their allies with, and which will be a cash cow for the Russians. So the Iran deal is disastrous because it doesn't actually prevent them from getting nuclear weapons. and actually now will empower Russia, and it will destabilize the region. And you just talked about the concerns over Taiwan, and now we have a war in Europe. Do we really want a destabilized Middle East? And their other option is, we'll buy oil from Venezuela, which is an ally of, wait for it, China and Russia, and actually the Iranians, right? And so that will destabilize Latin America. So, I know we call these guys the adults are back, but honestly, what's very, very clear, I think, particularly the announcement today, because just last week they said, we're not going to cut off Russian oil. Now we are going to cut off Russian oil, which is clearly just a political response to the pressure that they've gotten. But they don't have a plan to deal with this other than these ludicrous alternatives, and they refuse to actually, unleash American energy. So literally, they are making this up as we go along, which is, I think, the scariest thing, that they don't have no idea what they're doing, and they're just making stuff up, and they continue to want to put their politics ahead of, smart geopolitics, and that to me is the scariest thing.
Speaking with Heritage Foundation, Jim Carafano right now, I mean, I had listed out here for you to respond to Venezuela, Iran, obviously Russia being a part of this Iran negotiation that we're dealing with in China. I have to ask you where... Yes,
it's true. I can actually read your mind.
You can, or maybe the questions are just that obvious. I need to up my game a little bit. But, my question is, all of these countries, how do the American people fit into the Biden administration's plan? Where are the American people in this priority? In protecting us, providing for us, or doing the old-fashioned American government thing and getting the heck out of the way?
Well, I didn't see that question coming.
See?
Look,
was it a bad one?
Look, I mean, this gets back to, and this is, first of all, this is why these guys have been so predictable to our adversaries, and our adversaries have played them like the fiddle, because they're doing exactly what the Obama administration did. And they're rooted in the same thing. This is, there are two visions. We're realists. We think that you deal with the world as it is, and you try to protect the interests of your people, right? They are structuralists. They come at this world with the belief that if they can impose their ideological agenda on the world, they'll get everything they want. And so for them, it is the agenda that's the goal, not the protection of American interests, but the implementing of the agenda. And they've inverted those, and the agenda is more important than the people, because in their minds, if the agenda is implemented, then the people get taken care of magically somehow with magic dust. And so when things go wrong for them, as they did in Afghanistan, as they did with inflation, as they are on the border, and 1,000 other issues, their instinct is not, oh my God, I've screwed this up, how do I fix this? Their instinct is, how do I get back to my agenda? If you think about this, to contrast this with Jimmy Carter, the other maybe major disastrous presidency, Carter came into Washington, he was naive. He was naive about things, and he screwed a whole bunch of things up. But at the end of his presidency, he realized he screwed them up, and he tried to fix them. These guys have screwed everything up because of implementing their agenda, and their impulse is not to question the agenda. Their impulse is to say, how can I get reality out of the way to get back to my agenda? There's no way you can actually rationalize an energy policy that looks at buying energy from your enemies and hamstringing your own domestic production on how that's good for America or good for the environment, that somehow energy from bloody dictatorships is cleaner than American energy. I mean, it makes no rational sense unless your goal is the agenda, not the interests of the people that elected you.
I think it's such a great point. With Jim Carafano right now, Heritage Foundation. So the southern border is still an issue. I look at what Vladimir Putin is doing just personally myself and think to myself, is he looking for the United States to side-eye him wrong so he has an excuse to expand this? Is China looking to bring the United States into a conflict? Is the United States going to bumble their way into a conflict? How do we as a country fit into, from a war standpoint, what's going on or what's about to come?
I still think that the goal of Russia and China is as the ancient, Chinese philosophy, is to win without fighting. It doesn't mean they don't want to fight wars. Obviously, the Russians are fighting a war now, but they don't want to have a catastrophic conflict with the United States where we're throwing nuclear weapons at each other. They don't want to risk that either. What they want is they want to have situations where they can use their power and influence, and we do nothing. right? So I still think that's the goal. But Putin's got a lot of steps he can take after this. He can go after Georgia, Moldova, Belarus, the Balkans, none of which are NATO members. He can do exactly the same thing. Nobody's going to stop him. So he's still got a lot of open ground. China has, I think, time. I think they have time on their side. But here's the one thing they both need. They need, when this crisis is over, for us to just go back to sleepwalking through history and go back to what we're doing which is nothing, right? The worst thing that they can have is that we wake up as a result of this conflict and say, we have to defend ourselves. We have to get our economy up and running. We have to become energy independent. They would hate that. And sadly, right now, what's our president demonstrated, which is he doesn't seem interested in doing any of those things.
Yeah. And the biggest fear that I have is the man in charge. Just that the person who we need to lead our country and protect our country through this, the number one responsibility of government is to keep her people safe. I just don't have the vibe that that's the priority or the capability. So it's a frightening thing for people who don't know what you know. I don't know if it's more frightening to be outside of the know or in the know. Probably in the know, but it's
what makes me optimistic is you get it. Americans get this. We know we have to do different, and to me, that's what gives me optimism every day. They know they're not being well served, and they want better, and that to me is a source of optimism. We get this.
Well, Jim, you come back next week and we'll get the latest. And one of these times we'll have something positive to talk about.
Sure we will. I have a really cute grandson. There's that.
Oh, you want to talk babies next time? We could totally talk babies. I could talk babies for a whole show. Fantastic.
We could do that.
We'll compare pictures on the radio. Bye-bye, Jim. Thanks for being here with us. Jim Carafano is the leading expert in national security and foreign policy at the Heritage Foundation. On Twitter, at JJ Carafano, one of my favorite interviews we do each week. If you enjoy it as well, please tell him. At JJ Carafano on Twitter. He's super active there. He's got a really great gift game, and just tell him thanks, because he gives us some of his time. He gives you some of his time each and every week. It's 1:21 right now. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinals tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. When we come back, we are going to have in studio a special guest. Mayor Richard Irvin of Aurora is running for Illinois governor. He wants to take that governor's mansion from J.B. Pritzker, who, from what I understand, doesn't even live in the mansion, and restore some sanity to the state of Illinois. The primary is packed full of good candidates, and we're going to speak to one of them when we come back. And your questions in the live chat could make it into the interview. Stick around. We'll meet Mayor Richard Irvin in just a minute.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Fall away before their time, and I've been afraid that I may follow in their light.
The Annie Frey Show.
I like you people. I appreciate you keeping some sort of sensibility in the world.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
I feel like I see things that the rest of the world doesn't see. And you guys, you follow that path along too.
On 97.1 FM Talk.
When you want to invest in the very best for your home because the renovations have come, into the revolving door of being a homeowner, sometimes you got to replace this, sometimes you got to replace that, sometimes you got to replace windows. Maybe you're installing windows for the first time on a new home. You want those Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows, which means you got to go to Lakeside Renovation and Design. They are the best. Lakeside Renovation and Design has wonderful warranties on their products, their installation, and your customer satisfaction. And that's because they care deeply about the whole shebang. From the time you come in and sit down and have a conversation with them about the project, whether it is your Infinity from Marvin fiberglass window installation, or it's an add-on to your house. You need more space. Maybe it is James Hardy siding around the outside. Maybe it's a complete and total kitchen renovation. All of these things Lakeside Renovation and Design can do for you, and they will see it through till the very end, and your satisfaction is what they are striving for. If you're interested in a project with Lakeside Renovation and Design, especially one of those window replacements, 636-978-5000, you can find them online right now at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com.
Wealth-changing question. Is your investment portfolio really customized? Some advisors say they customize portfolios, but all they really do is ask you a few questions, then put all your money in a model portfolio. At Creative Planning, each of our private wealth management clients' portfolios is unique. Your investment mix will be based on your custom financial plan. If that's not how your money is managed, you aren't getting the customization you deserve. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
If your business has accounting problems, you probably have tax problems. Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm in St. Louis. Running a small business is tough, and it's no surprise that companies that don't keep good books often run into tax issues. If you don't fix your accounting problems, you could be doomed to land in the same tax pitfalls every year. Call the Lance Drury Law Firm today. I can help you get out of tax trouble and stay out. If your small business doesn't have a CPA or accountant, I can help you find one. And if you already have one, I work closely with them to resolve your tax problems quickly. Make no mistake, if the numbers don't add up, the IRS will catch it. Fix your accounting and tax problems before they snowball with help from the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, D-R-U-R-Y law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Let's start off a new year with a new coat of paint. This is Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, and let's make 2022 the year you transform your home or business with some new colors and expert professional painting. CertaPro can make it happen, and the quality of the work will blow you away. One of my favorite parts of hiring CertaPro is I don't have to do the painting myself. These are professional painters. They can help you bring your vision of color to life. Get started today with a free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters.
Looking to sell your house without all the hassle and pricey repair costs? Great, because Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis loves buying fix-up homes in any condition, as is, no fees and no commissions. Call 314-782-8000, and Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis will give you a cash offer right now. No strings attached. We buy inherited houses, divorce houses, trashed houses, even those my tenant won't pay rent houses. Call Chris at 314-782-8000 and find out how easy it is to work with us. That's 314-782-8000. Do you think your home will be difficult to sell? Easy. Our team will provide you with personal guidance through our short and simple process to turn your house into a pile of gold. Just call Chris at 314-782-8000. 314-782-8000. That's 314-782-8000. And let Chris worry about everything.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So this is Buddy Guy, who is from my Google search from Illinois, and the song is called Damn Right I Got the Blues. And the reason why I'm playing that is because we have a candidate in studio with us, Aurora Mayor Richard Irvin. And I got to say, Illinois has had the blues for some time. Mayor, thank you for your time today. Former Congressman John Shimkus in here as well, who is supporting Richard Irvin. Thank you both for being in here today. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Great
Appreciate
to be
it.
with you, Annie.
So people have started to see ads coming in their, phones and on their YouTube streams and so on and so forth. We have heard about you here on this station as well, Mayor, but I want to give you the opportunity to tell people on your terms without me leading you anywhere. Why
Absolutely.
are you running? You're the mayor of Aurora, second largest city in the state.
Second largest city in the state of Illinois. Absolutely.
And now you want to be the governor of Illinois. Why is that?
I do. And I think you pointed out Illinois has the blues and we're trying to turn Illinois to red.
Yes, we are.
So we're getting rid of those blues. Well, I'm running for governor because, I want to make a difference. And we, under J.B. Pritzker, crime is spinning out of control. Taxes and wild spending, is out of control. And corruption is out of control. And we need a governor that's going to be tough on crime and criminals. And we'll talk about, my background and record in a second and being tough on crime. We need a governor who's going to balance the state's over bloated budget and make sure we can reduce taxes for for our residents and not continue to raise taxes as he's attempted to raise taxes drastically. And we'll talk about that in detail as well. And we need a governor who's going to fight against the corruption that has plagued our state for years. And J.B. Pritzker, has been passive about all the corruption and for some extent participated in it by funding the corruptive enterprise that has continued throughout the state of Illinois for decades. And it's time that we take our state back. We got to take our state back for every resident of the state of Illinois.
You've hit so many important points that I think that Illinoisans right now you can't really turn to a bright spot right now. I mean, the country is kind of, Congressman, you understand, the country is kind of a disaster right now, but Illinois is leading the charge in being a hot freaking mess.
I'd freaking mess it. Yeah. And in some cases, as you point out, it's an understatement. We're the last in the union for so many things, for education, for financing, for corruption. We're first in the union for that, though.
Yeah.
So
we get a blue ribbon for that one.
We get a blue ribbon
no
for that
it's blue.
one. Exactly right. And we got to change that around. And people are concerned. Matter of fact, we're losing people by the droves. We're losing businesses by the droves. And folks aren't proud and happy to be residents of Illinois anymore. We got to bring that pride back.
Yeah.
We got to bring that the land of Lincoln back to that place it was where we all were happy to say that I'm from the state of Illinois. And we're not that now, but we're going to get back to that.
But number one question I get asked on the show, because half the people listening right now are Missourians who, the way that I get to talk about Illinois politics as much as I do, the most of anybody in the St. Louis city, right here on the Annie Frey Show, noon to 3 on 97.1 FM Talk, is by everybody. It's like rubbernecking. You can't drive past the car accident and not turn your head a little bit. Congressman Shimkus, you know this. You've represented Illinois for decades, and Illinois is a mess. And I always say, like, you look at California and you look at New York, these blue states are disasters too. And because we're Midwest, we don't get the attention that we deserve for being as much of a disaster as we are. They always go to the coasts.
Well, the New York Times did a piece a couple of years ago talking about us being the number one debtor nation in the world per Illinois. But you're right. I mean, but I'm from Southern Illinois. So, we blame Chicago. We blame, it's a kind of different world in Central and Southern Illinois. And it's small towns, agriculture, good people, going to church, trying to do the best they can.
Yeah, that's a great segue into my next question. So Aurora, Northern Illinois, down here, it's easy for a lot of folks who are heartland folks to just blame that northeastern corner of the state. Southern Illinoisans don't feel heard ever. And honestly, I think that it's a little too easy for Southern Illinoisans to just blame the northeastern part of the state. I mean, the House district I live in right now, the state House district I live in right now, I have a Democrat state House rep, I have a Democrat state senator, and we're Southern Illinois. So we could get a little bit in ship shape down here as well. But how do you speak to those Southern Illinoisans who are listening right now, who look at you as a Northerner and may make some presuppositions about what that means about you? How are you going to speak to us Southern folks down here?
I care about the Southern folks. I care about the folks in Southern Illinois, Central Illinois. And I recognize that we're all part of one Illinois, that we're all in this together. And unless we work on the issues and the things that are important to Southern Illinoisans, we're never going to progress as a state. As a matter of fact, the young lady that I chose as my lieutenant governor, Avery Bourne, she's from Central and Southern Illinois. And she lives on a farm that her family's been on for 150 years. And I specifically picked someone, south of I-80, that had a relationship with Southern and Central Illinois, so we could make sure we always gave the full state of voice. Of course, I'm from the northern part of Illinois. Don't consider myself a Chicagoan. I'm 40 miles outside of Chicago.
See, you just said something that resonates with all of us. You just separated your Illinois roots from Chicago.
Right.
We all felt that at the same time. It was a kumbaya moment.
I am not. I am from the city of Aurora. I am the mayor of the second largest city in the state, and I stand on that strong. I'm born and raised in Aurora. Matter of fact, born and raised in public housing, to a single teenage mother who raised my brother and I in an environment where there wasn't a whole lot of hope. And I think I have that in common with a lot of folks, down south in Central Illinois that may have grown up in similar circumstances, poor and not a lot of hope for the future, because we have big cities like Chicago, where the focus has been for so long. Now it's time to turn the focus on the folks that need it, and it's those folks that have been disregarded for forever. And what got me out of that, that environment, that hopeless environment, is actually joining the United States military. I joined the Army when I was 18 years old and served our country proudly. And I served in the Gulf War. And that's where I kind of recognized that, I love my state. I love my country. I love America. And I love the state of Illinois. And we got to make a difference. When I was in war, there was such a circumstance where I thought that I might not make it out. And I told myself, if I do, I want to go give back. I want to give back to my community. I want to give back to my city. I want to give back to my state. So now I have an opportunity to give back to the state of Illinois, the whole state, all the state and all the residents. And I want to make a difference for all of us.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And, I'll say this too. And I've made this clear to the people who are listening on my show on a regular basis. Chicago is still part of Illinois. So while we will separate ourselves from it, we're not going to win anything without Chicago. We continue to lose, in my opinion, in Southern Illinois by going the way of Chicago. Can I ask you a tough question?
Absolutely.
A lot of people say that you're a new Republican and they question your Republican roots.
Right.
And I will tell you that I am so sick and tired of losing races on the Republican side where we are forced to vote for somebody who I'm voting for them. They're not a Republican. And then you lose. Like, if we're going to just lose, I'd rather lose voting for somebody who actually stands by the things that are conservative, that are Republican. There's a lot of challenges out there to you about that right now. What's your answer?
Well, I'm not a new Republican, and that my opponents are suggesting that because they can't talk about anything else other than that. They can't talk about my record because I have a stellar record as the mayor of the second largest city of the state with proven results of getting things done the whole time I've been there. Matter of fact, my first office that I ever held, and that was, well over a decade and a half ago, maybe 2 decades ago, was a Republican committeeman. First appointed by my fellow Republicans, and then later elected by my fellow Republicans for a 4-year term after that. And I started my whole political career off, in a conservative way of thinking in the Republican Party. But let me tell you who does think I'm a Republican. Barack Obama, when he came and campaigned against me in 2005 when I ran for mayor the first time. Now, I didn't win that election, but what I did was, after I got the criticism that I didn't have enough experience in government, I went back and ran for alderman at large. Same exact race, but when you win, you're an alderman instead of a mayor. And I was elected 2 years after my defeat to the Democrat in 2005. So I got to sit next to that Democrat for the next 10 years, learning how not to run government. So when I had an opportunity to run again in 2017, let me tell you who else felt I was Republican. Tammy Duckworth, who campaigned against me. Dick Durbin, who campaigned against me and actually came out and knocked on doors. There's a video of him knocking on doors. And the most notorious Democrat in the state of Illinois, Mike Madigan, campaigned against me and had his hand-picked candidate come out and run against me for mayor. But we beat Mike Madigan. And as Mike Madigan and his ilk have steamrolled Republicans, in Illinois for decades.
The federal documents are saying.
That's exactly right. In its indictment papers,
if you want the details, they're
exactly
out there.
right. They're out there. We faced Mike Madigan and his machine in this corrupt enterprise that's been running the state for years, and we beat him. So all those folks, recognized my Republican credentials. And it started even well before, I got into politics as a young man. It started with my grandfather. My grandfather always taught me, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. If you teach him to fish, he eats for a lifetime. Those are Republican principles. I'm not interested in giving someone a handout, but I'll give anybody a hand up and teach them how to stand on their own.
We're speaking with the mayor of Aurora, Illinois, Richard Irvin, who is a candidate for governor on the Republican side. He's in the primary right now with other candidates who we've had on the show, and we're excited to have you here in studio with us, Mayor. Talk to me about the Second Amendment. Illinois is very punitive to people who want to exercise their Second Amendment. You've got to do like leaps and jumps and flips and somersaults in order to exercise your constitutional rights. We have a FOID card, which is a barrier to letting people exercise those rights. Lots of court cases that have been out there trying to push back on that. Where do you stand on the FOID and the Second Amendment in the state?
So let me tell you what I did when after I got out of the Army, put myself through college, and recognized that there was something that I about me that I never knew before, that if I just put my mind to something, I could do anything. I actually became a lawyer. And starting off as a lawyer, I was a prosecutor for a number of years. And as a prosecutor, prosecuting crimes, working alongside a police day in and day out, shoulder to shoulder and side by side, I recognized in many of the gun cases that I prosecuted that gun laws don't only apply to law-abiding citizens. Criminals could care less about gun laws. As a lawyer,
That's why they're criminals.
exactly right. Exactly right.
Crime, criminals will slow it down.
The more laws we create, gun laws, just it inhibits and prevents law-abiding citizens from protecting themselves.
And it creates criminals out of law-abiding citizens.
And it can, in many cases, create criminals out of law-abiding citizens. Look, I'm a lawyer. I believe in the Constitution of the United States. I believe in the Second Amendment. You know, I own guns myself, you know, and you start off shooting them as a young man with my grandfather on 4th of July. I probably shouldn't say that. We shot shotguns on the 4th of July.
You're in Southern Illinois. It's fine.
That's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We'll tell stories after we get off the air here.
So, and I'll be one of the first people to say we absolutely, the FOID system is broken. Matter of fact, you know, during COVID, my FOID card expired and I'm still waiting, you know, after applying for it to get it.
Many Illinoisans. Would you say we should get rid of it?
You know, what I say is we definitely should work to make sure that we do two things that I think are important for gun safety. Make sure that we don't have more criminals having access to guns, and we don't have folks with mental illnesses having access to guns. So I will agree that the FOID system in Illinois has to be reworked and come up with a new way to ensure we get less guns in criminals' hands and less folks with mental illnesses getting guns.
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of the FOID. I'm just going to go on record with that. So would Brad. Brad lives in Southern Illinois as well. You know, there are other big issues out there that people care about who are, especially in a primary, who are going to have to choose the best candidate to go forward. I think it's very important for people to vote their conscience, their heart, but also their brain. The person who wins the primary has to be able to beat Moneybags JB Pritzker, who has not done anything to help the state of Illinois in his 4 years, but he does have a Scrooge McDuck pile of gold doubloons that he swims in each night in Chicago, not in Springfield. So that's just my imagination. It's the only way I get through, Mayor. When it comes to abortion, Illinois is the most progressive abortion state in the union. I'm staunchly pro-life. It's very important to me. The previous race with Bruce Rauner, I was not a Bruce Rauner fan, but I also told people, listen, if you elect Bruce Rauner, the state is going to be less pro-abortive than if you elect JB Pritzker, and look where we got.
I know. Look where we got. Yeah. Well, you know, I'm absolutely pro-life, and one of the first things I think we need to address is the fact that JB Pritzker just signed a bill allowing a teenager to walk into an abortion clinic and get an abortion, a serious medical procedure, without their parent even being notified. A kid can't go get an aspirin in school without their parent being notified and giving consent. Yet he signed a bill allowing a kid, 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, to waltz into an abortion clinic and get an abortion.
Do you look to push back on that?
What's that? Oh, absolutely. I think that's ludicrous. And I think any parent with a teenage kid that doesn't want to allow their 16-year-old just to drive to the grocery store would not allow them to walk into a abortion clinic and get abortion without them being notified. So absolutely, that's something that we definitely need to claw back.
I love to hear it. That's the topic. When I start going in on it, I like black out and I don't know what I say here on the radio, and it's all from the heart. Maybe some of it not from the head. Congressman Shimkus, you've represented the Southern Illinois District. Not 15.
Well, a couple. 13th, 15th, 19th.
Over the course
20th.
of time. You've put your chips in the Mayor Richard Irvin pot. You've said, this is my guy. You're here with us today. You've been on the show talking specifically about Ukraine. I wish I could talk to you for the rest of the show about Ukraine today. We'll do it again soon in the future. But what I need is somebody who can beat JB Pritzker. And the idea that Illinois, this blue, stupid as it's been in the past politically, it needs a change, or there's not going to be anybody left here. Everyone who's left is holding the bigger bag of the tax burden. Virginia, a blue state goes red because the people there had common sense. Do you think Illinois can?
Well, Richard Irvin can win this gubernatorial race in November. He's got to get through the primary. I think he'll win that. Listen, everybody knows me. They know my conservative credentials. I wouldn't support someone who wasn't conservative. That's kind of the litmus test. Then you ask the question of, well, can he win, right?
It's the biggest question.
And Mayor has such a compelling life story, first of all. He's got a record of accomplishment that can't be denied. He served our country overseas in war. I mean, if this guy can't do it, it's not going to be done. Then we all should pack up and go. But I to beat Pritzker, you need someone who can do that. Some of the other guys are good friends. Campaign with them, kind of served with them. Respect them, but I want to win in November, and Mayor Irvin can do that.
Mayor Irvin, last question before we let you go. This is radio, so people can't see you, And I think that if they have not, dived in, like, who's like, what? Sorry, people are like studying up on the Illinois governor race. You should be, because we have a chance to win and we have a great field of candidates. You said you grew up in public housing. You have had a life journey that is a very interesting story. You're an African-American man. You serve as the mayor of the second largest city in the state of Illinois. You're not the, conveyor belt Republican governor that usually would go in to run in this office. You think you bring something different to the table that can get the attention of the additional people that are going to be needed to beat J.B. Pritzker?
I think I bring a number of unique perspectives and qualities to the ticket. The fact that I've lived on many sides of the track, and I won't even say both sides, many sides, growing up in public housing, a single teenage mother, that's a story you hear of a lot of folks growing up, or a lot of teenage mothers that have young kids. The fact that I served in the military, and that reaches a whole different sect of people, of the thousands upon thousands of people that have served our country proudly, and I'm among them. The fact that I'm a prosecutor who has worked hand in hand with police. That's another sect of folk that I've worked with, and made.
You support the police?
Absolutely support the police. I think defund the police and that whole movement is idiotic. It's stupid.
So does the president now, apparently. It's new information.
So from that perspective, being the mayor of the second largest city in the state, working for a large constituency and getting things done in a city where they said we couldn't get it done. We couldn't, build Aurora. We couldn't do economic development and have developers come in and spend tens of millions of their dollars to build our city. We couldn't attract more people in and more businesses in. We've done all of it. When we were counted out, with me as leader and surrounding myself with capable and committed people, we got it done. And we'll do that and more for the state of Illinois.
Do the police support you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's important. It's a two-way street, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mayor Richard Irvin, it has been a pleasure to have you in here. We hope that when you're in the area again, you find time to come back in and talk to us, maybe take some questions from listener. Congressman Shimkus, thank you for connecting us as well. What is the best place for people to learn more about you and support you if they choose to?
The best place for them to learn more about me is irvinborn.com. Just go to irvinborn.com. Check us out. Check out our videos and our announcement video. Look at the progress of what we've been doing over the campaign. We've only, started campaigning over the last month and a half and already gained so much energy and excitement, in this candidacy. We're going all throughout. We'll go to 20 counties throughout central and southern Illinois, maybe even more counties. And that's just this trip during our Take This State Back tour that we're going on over this next week. And we'll be back, time and time again, so we can spread the message that we got to take this state back, and working together, we absolutely can make a difference.
It has been a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming in here. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us. Eleni, thank you for bringing them in and having them in here. I love meeting all these candidates. I've met many of the other ones, and I continue to say we have great people. We have great options. Educate yourself on who best represents you and be very active in the primary. If you support Mayor Irvin, you need to go tell people now that you support him because it matters now. After the primary, it's J.B. Pritzker or fill in the blank here. You get to fill in the blank and you get to have your say right now. irvinborn.com. Thank you. We invite you back anytime.
My pleasure.
All right. Let's take a quick break, Brad. When we come back, I'm going to get some of your reaction from the live chat. Annie Frey YouTube channel, Annie Frey Show Facebook page. Comment here and let us know what you think about the mayor and just let's ruminate in the suggestion that we could beat J.B. Pritzker. Because damn right, I got the blues here in the state of Illinois, and we can change it. We'll be back in a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
Let's talk to Mr. Frank Cusimano from Channel 5.
We're on day 96 of the lockout. No new negotiations have been scheduled.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Hi, Jason Bauman here with Three Rivers Waterproofing. We offer two-part epoxy crack injections, drain systems, sump pumps, pits, bowing walls, sinking walls, replacement of patios, porches, driveways, expansion joints from street creep. We also offer a lifetime warranty that is fully transferable to the next homeowner at no charge. Give us a call at Three Rivers Waterproofing at 636-287-2098 or find us online at threeriverswaterproofing.com. Three Rivers Waterproofing, where we specialize in wet cracks.
Odyssey celebrates Women's History Month.
Amelia Earhart broke boundaries in the sky as the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. She was one of the first aviators to promote commercial air travel, wrote best-selling books, and helped form the 99s, an organization for female pilots. In 1937, she shockingly disappeared on her quest to circumnavigate the globe.
Odyssey, celebrating remarkable women. For more, check out our exclusive station, She Sings, on the Odyssey app.
So Stewart's American Mortgage, the Bagel Loan guy, waiting for your phone call to get the process started on your refinance of your mortgage. Sometimes I talk about get the Bagel Loan. It's going to save you money. You're not going to pay any fees, blah, 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 blah. And I forget to tell you it's on a refinance on your mortgage. You're paying your mortgage right now. It's the biggest bill that you have. Why not make it lower? Or why not keep it where it is right now, get the smaller interest rate and shave years off the length of your loan? Or do what we did, refinance. We just did this last summer. We refinanced for the second time because rates had gone down even more. You don't pay any fees that all the other lenders out there are going to charge you for. So there's a no-brainer to do that to get the lower interest rate. And we were able to take some of that increased equity that everybody's experienced right now out of our house so we could fix the deck on the back of our house. It was a no-brainer situation. It's the same for you. When you call this number that I'm going to give you, get your phone out and you can type it in there so you can text him, you can call him. Stewie's going to tell you how the Bagel Loan can help you specifically, and you're going to be so glad that you made that phone call or text. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440. You can find them online by Googling the Bagel Loan and MLS number 226715.
You say tomato and I say tomato. Everyone is different. We have different fingerprints, different jobs, different homes, different personalities. We think differently. We speak differently, spend differently, and save differently. Why would our dreams for retirement be different? At Heisey Advisory Group, we help our families put together the many pieces of the financial puzzle to provide a clear plan for the future, embracing the uniqueness of an individualized plan. Take advantage of scheduling your initial strategy session and going through our retirement roadmap review process to see if your retirement dream is within reach. Call 314-328-6000 and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-6000. That's 314-328-6000.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Start your next project today at Menards and save 11% off everything. Put in those kitchen cabinets you've always wanted. Bring new life to your rooms with flooring and paint. Insulate your home and save on energy costs. Add stylish storage with shelving and save with 11% off everything now at Menards. Prices good through Saturday, March 12th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Get in your comfort zone with a new HVAC system. Double carrier cool cash rebates for a total of $143 are available on qualifying new HVAC systems. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
If it's bumper to bumper or smooth sailing, Sue Thomas has you covered with dependable traffic. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor.
I come from the heart of the heartland, where picture shows where the corn grows and rows and rows, with summer greens and winter snows, and it goes on through the crack of the bat. Oh, everybody rolling out their will.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Beyond that wild blue yonder, when I get lost in the noise, like a whisper I hear the voice of the boy. from Illinois.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Not a lot of time here, but I want to get some of your reaction to Mayor Richard Irvin, who was just in here. He's the mayor of Aurora, the second largest city in the state of Illinois, and he is on the Republican ticket for governor. He wants to take J.B. Pritzker down. I'm for whomever is up for that. I mean, you could put in a sponge into that position and not do anything for 4 years, and it would be better than the disaster that J.B. Pritzker has been for the state so far. A lot of people reacting here on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. People wanted to know how he felt about the FOID card. I don't think that he went as far. He didn't definitively say that he would void the FOID per se, but he said that the system needs an overhaul, and he definitely was against expanding that system into something that would make law-abiding citizens criminals the way it is currently right now, and also making sure that people understand that all these gun control laws that are being put on the books in the state of Illinois, in my opinion, my words, not his, to make all the lefties in government feel like they really did something so they can put it on their mailers that are all fodder for your recycle bin. They don't even make it into the house. I hate the mailers. They don't stop their laws, and criminals break laws. So how do you make laws that are going to stop criminals? You don't. And that was his point. Vicky said he is a very awesome gentleman. Let's see here. Mark on YouTube said, I'm kind of digging this guy. I would love to see a primary debate on the show or after hours for the YouTube channel. Working on something, Mark. We're going to see if the candidates, we know that some of the candidates are willing to do that. We're going to see if we can get them all in and hopefully host some kind of event for that. Let's see here. Anybody but Pritzker. That seems to be a similar sentiment here.
I have to say, though, I don't feel bad. I wouldn't feel bad. I've met most, if not all, of the Republican primary candidates. I would not feel bad of any of them. Like, I wouldn't feel like I was settling for any of them.
We have good candidates. You have to be engaged right now. You have to be paying attention. I mean, the primary is June 28th, I believe. So there's some time. But if you have a candidate that you like, people are commenting in here about Darren Bailey as well. I love Darren Bailey. I've worked events with him. He'd be a great candidate for governor. But we have lots of great candidates, and we need everybody to put it all out there on the field. The winner will take all on June 28th. And then the state of Illinois needs to know that we have a chance to beat J.B. Pritzker. Hands in the middle, folks. Quick break. When we come back, Dory Murdoch, don't go away.
Hey, Illinois, if you want to bet on sports, it's never been easier to get in the game with an assist from FanDuel Sportsbook. Because now, Illinois bettors can sign up for FanDuel Sportsbook online. And to celebrate, we're hooking you and your friends up with a limited-time $100 bonus. Just invite your friends to join FanDuel Sportsbook, and after they bet $10 or more, you'll both get $100 in site credit. Be sure to get your bonus before this offer ends on March 13th. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. It's simple and easy to use. The app is great with generous promotions every day. It's safe and secure with best-in-class customer service. And when you win, they pay fast. New to FanDuel Sportsbook? Head over to the Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code MARK to make your first bet risk-free up to $1,000 and invite your friends today. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the Chicago Bulls and Blackhawks and 97.1 FM Talk. 21 plus and present in Illinois. Referred players must wager $10 before 3/13/21 after signing up. Limit 10 referrals. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires after 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is a great time of the year to upgrade the energy efficiency in your home with my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here to tell you more about my experience with Window World. They replaced a couple of windows at my house. They were just panes of glass. We wanted to be able to get some airflow into the master bathroom. They came out, they gave us a free estimate, and then had the windows at seams installed in no time. Very professional, lifetime warranty I get, and you get an extra double strength glass on their replacement windows that's not common. So you're getting a great price, simply the best for less. They do front entry doors, rear entry doors if you're looking to replace that back door or sliding glass door in your home. They've got a great selection at Window World. They're also right now offering 18 months, same as cash financing, of course, with approved credit. The preferred window of the St. Louis Blues, 314-993-1800. windowworld.com.
Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. When it comes to your tax issues, why would you trust some faceless national company that uses cartoons in its ads to protect you? Tax problems are not funny and should not be treated lightly. If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need a lawyer that will protect your rights. You can't meet face-to-face with a cartoon, and what happens if the national company can't resolve your issue and stops returning calls? Do yourself a favor and call the Lance Drury Law Firm. Our office is right here in St. Louis. I am a local attorney specializing in tax resolution. You can come in and sit down with a licensed, experienced attorney and put a name with a face. When it comes to tax issues, don't go with a cartoon. Get serious help with the Lance Drury Law Firm. Remember, if you have IRS issues, you have legal issues. Call attorney Lance Drury, 314-260-6120, or go to Lance, DRURY law.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
KFTK FM Florissant, driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, 97.1 FM Talk.
An Odyssey station.
Guilty on all counts. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The first trial over the Capitol riot ends on the first day of jury deliberations. Fox's Gernal Scott has this live.
Lisa, Guy Reffitt of Texas was found guilty by a jury of entering the Capitol with a holstered handgun, interfering with police, and civil obstruction for threatening his children if they turned him in. The trial lasted almost a week. Reffitt, a member of the 3%ers anti-government militia, was convicted on all counts after about 3 hours of deliberation. The verdict for prosecutors could be leveraged in plea agreements and in convincing other defendants against going to trial. Reffitt faces up to 40 years in prison. Sentencing will be in June. Lisa.
Thanks, Gernal. Desperation in the besieged Ukrainian port city of Mariupol, with continued fighting jeopardizing an effort to get civilians out.
It's currently nearly surrounded by the Russians, and it's been cut off in terms of water, power, and food for the past 7 days, making it very difficult for the civilians there to simply survive.
Fox's Trey Yanks. Meantime, Russian strikes blamed for more civilian deaths, including at least 2 children in the city of Sumy.
Complete destruction caused by these Russian missiles slamming into houses. The Russians continue to shell different areas around Sumy, making it extremely difficult for the evacuation that is currently taking place to continue.
The UN says more than 2 million people have fled Ukraine so far, more than half of them children. President Biden says the U.S. won't help subsidize President Putin's war, so he's banning Russian oil imports while denying claims of a war on U.S. energy.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production.
Republicans say his policies have helped fuel record gas prices, not just the war in Ukraine affecting prices. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital. Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com. I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Weather with Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Chilly times on this Tuesday afternoon with below average temperatures, a mix of clouds and sunshine. I think we'll top out at best at 49 degrees. Tonight, lots of clouds in place, 30 degrees. Wednesday, lots of sunshine. Now it's a cold start Wednesday morning, but a little bit warmer Wednesday afternoon, 55, 59, 60 on Thursday. But here comes winter on Friday, clouds, 38 degrees with snow, sleet, and rain. This is 97.1 FM Talk Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When you're here, you're on the leading edge.
Julie's been very patient in St. Louis, listening on a great station 97.1. Hey, Julie.
Hey.
Of everything happening.
You and the media have to resist the temptation to just say, oh, nobody's going to report on it. We'll just move on.
Locally and nationally.
Not in a million years, Julie. Are you kidding?
The world, the country, and the community meet here.
Because conservative radio and media pressed it and pressed it and pressed it, and it finally caught on.
I agree.
97.1 FM Talk.
This is Ryan Wiggins. I was just looking at Andrea's sauce online to find out, you know what? Can I add that to my cart and just have it delivered? You can. They have it on Instacart. Schnucks has it available. And those two are actually the best prices, too. If you use the other ones, it's a little more expensive. So I recommend you use Schnucks or Instacart, just based on my internet search just now. But if you've never used Andrea's sauce, it's the great equalizer, as I refer to it, because no matter if you're a great cook or if you're not, it's going to raise the level of what you're doing. And if you're not great and you just are getting back into the grilling, I know it's cold right now, but we're close to warm weather. We had a little taste of it last week, so grilling is right around the corner. Get a bottle of Andrea's sauce and use it as a marinade or to brush on while you're cooking your proteins. It's going to make everything better, no matter which protein you're using. If you're just getting burgers or if you're getting top of the line steaks, Andrea's sauce is here. It's made locally, so it's never going to be fresher than when you buy it here in St. Louis. Andreas.com is where you can order it, or like I said, a couple of different options there I gave you a minute ago. Instacart, Schnucks, Andreas.com.
The Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health understands how difficult it is to maintain healthy skin and how much this can affect someone's life. With the right combination of treatments and products, they can help you keep your skin looking healthy and more youthful, while also reducing and preventing damage. Take your first step towards healthy skin at the Med Spa at the Institute of Natural Health. Visit them at inhstl.com or call to schedule at 314-293-8123. That's 314-293-8123.
I'm back to doing what I love and more, thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Arnold, owner of the Good Feet Store. Do you have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning because of a sharp pain in your heel?
I did. I had plantar fasciitis. I had a burning sensation on the bottom of my feet. I went to the Good Feet Store, and what a relief. And now I never go without my Good Feet support.
Are your knees and back killing you by the end of the day?
It was getting so severe, I almost stopped walking. I have no problems with my knees now. I couldn't believe how fast it helped me.
You deserve a better life, too. Come to the Good Feet Store today.
Call 314-317-9494 or visit one of our 2 locations on Olive, Catty Corner from TGI Fridays, or in Shiloh, Illinois, across from Deerbird.
Thanks to the Good Feet Store.
Individual results may vary. Consult your physician for medical conditions. Visit the website goodfeetstlewis.com. Pain relief and comfort to fit any budget. Come in for a free test walk today. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA.
Worried about what you're breathing in? With each breath, allergens, germs, and viruses get trapped in your nose. Now there's a simple, easy, and effective way to clean your nose and protect your health. It's called Navage. Navage. Available at Navage.com.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Odyssey is your home for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today to listen to 97.1 FM Talk, even when you don't have a radio. Always streaming at 971talk.com. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is sponsored by The Loading Dock, Riverviews, outdoor dining, live music, and overnight accommodations. Visit GraftonLoadingDock.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not a married sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not married sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
This crisis is a stark reminder. To protect our economy over the long term, we need to become energy independent. I've had numerous conversations over the last 3 months with our European friends of how they have to wean themselves off of Russian oil. It's just not tenable. It should motivate us to accelerate the transition to clean energy. This is a perspective that our European allies share, and the future where together we can achieve greater independence.
So President Biden speaking today about the Russia oil ban. And if you missed the conversation we had with Jim Carafano, please consider rewinding it on the Odyssey app. And if you don't have the Odyssey app, it's just an app you can download on the phone. You find 97.1 FM Talk on there, and you can listen to the station all day, every day from anywhere, and you can rewind up to 24 hours back. This conversation with Jim Carafano took place at 1 o'clock. If you want to go back to 12:25, we talked about Stephen Moore and the impact of the energy situation that President Biden put us squarely in. Day one of his administration, nixing the Keystone Pipeline because we had to genuflect at the altar of the climate change god. We're in a really, really terrible situation. And what really what really makes your gut turn regarding the position that the United States is in as we look upon what's taking place in Ukraine is that in many cases, this was likely avoidable. We empowered Russia through enabling a pipeline over there, and we weakened the United States by shutting down the Keystone Pipeline here. I mean, it makes no sense unless, always remember, when you can't make sense of something, the kids on Twitter say, make it make sense. I hate Twitter speak. But seriously, make it make sense. You want to know how you make it make sense? The problem that you can't figure out how to solve is not viewed as a problem to the people who are causing the problem to occur. When you look at the energy dependence that we now have, knowing how much money that we had been previously investing in Russian oil, knowing that we divested ourselves in oil here in the United States, when you pay attention to how this is all unfolded, it's mind-blowing and mind-boggling putting this all together and trying to figure out exactly how this is going to manifest itself into a solution. There isn't a solution because they don't have the same problem that we have. We see the problem as being dependent on a foreign country for oil. It's like oil is bad, right? Drilling for oil, bad. Harvesting oil, is that what you do? Is bad. But let's do it. Let's take it from Russia. Let's let Russia do it. Is it bad or is it not bad? Why is it okay if Russia does it and we don't? It makes no sense. And the president continues to double down on this idea that our focus on green, clean energy is where this moment is going to take us. It's going to tank, no pun intended, the country. But the number one thing he wants you to understand is gas prices.
It's simply not true that my administration or policies are holding back domestic energy production. That's simply not true. Even amid the pandemic, companies in the United States pumped more oil during my first year in office than they did during my predecessor's first year. We're approaching a record levels of oil and gas production in the United States, and we're on track to set a record oil production next year.
It's not his fault, folks. If you want to understand what's going on in the world, you can think what you want, but just remember, the pain that you feel at the pump right now, it's not Biden's fault. They continue to hammer this down, and I cannot for the life of me understand why the Republican punditry out there is so invested in this idea that, oh no, people are going to think that people are going to look at this situation and they're not going to blame Biden for the high gas prices. He's going to get off the hook for this. What do you think he's going to do? Win re-election in 3 years because of this moment in time? This is not helping the administration. If we were in this moment in time, let's compare apples to apples. If we were in this moment in time and Donald Trump was president, the entire mainstream media and every leftist, the most dangerous place you could be is between a progressive pundit and a camera or a microphone, because they would trample you over so fast to explain to you how Donald Trump is leading the world into a nuclear World War III. That would be the story. That would be the entirety of the issue at hand. We're not talking about that right now. We're sitting back and we're waiting for Joe Biden to react over and over and over again. And his reaction is to go talk to Venezuela? I mean, right now, the United States is having big, major, country-affecting conversations with Venezuela, with Iran, including Russia, sitting on the side of the table with Russia in this nuclear deal with Iran. In China, we're still in as deep as we can possibly be with China. Ukraine is as corrupt as it's ever been. Ukraine has always been corrupt. And all of the American people are sitting over here going, we don't know who to believe. We don't know what we see, what is real, what is not real. You don't want to be duped. You certainly do not want to send people overseas to fight in a war that is not yours, that could piss off Vladimir Putin to the point where he starts launching nukes. But where do you turn? Who do you turn to? What do you ask the person that you turn to? What do you ask them for once you find the person to talk to? We've gotten ourselves into such a disastrous mess, and this administration is at the heart of it. Climate change is the epicenter. This is what these people wake up thinking about. This is what they go to sleep with each night. It's what they dream about. It's what they pray to. It's what they worship. And I think the other side of that is the amount of money that exists in the industry of climate change, which is the actual God. The money, the power that goes along with it. It is an industry. Global warming. You remember we were talking about global warming all the time? Global warming, ha ha ha. It'd be 95 degrees outside, and we'd be like, oh, that global warming's really hitting hard today. And then it'd be 10 degrees outside. We could really use some global warming over here. They changed it from global warming to climate change because obviously the climate is always changing. Remember the Ice Age? The climate has changed since then. The climate is always changing. You call it climate change, it's harder to debunk. Are there issues that are affecting planet Earth that people can pay attention to? Can we take better care of our home planet? Of course we can. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're asking us to turn our lives inside out in an effort to make sure that we adhere to the religion of climate change. Why is that? Because there are people who control that narrative. There are people who direct us to pay attention to this over here. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain, the one who's buying coastal property on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean or on the eastern seaboard. We're all side-eyeing each other going, really? This is it? Do they have so much money that they can afford to buy a house that's going to be underwater literally they tell us like 10 years. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez told us, I think it was before the 2016 election or somewhere around that we had like 12 years and then it shortened to like 7 or 8. I think we're doing pretty good. Didn't factor in nuclear war to that though. So maybe that's where she ends up turning out all right. You ask this administration what it is that you should be focusing on, and everything is green energy. We sent the person who can fix it all, though, to take care of the issue.
Imagine a future. The freight trucks that deliver bread and milk to our grocery store shelves, and the buses that take children to school and parents to work. Imagine all the heavy-duty vehicles that keep our supply lines strong and allow our economy to grow. Imagine that they produced zero emissions. Well, you all imagined it. That's why we're here today. Because we have the ability to see what can be, unburdened by what has been, and then to make the possible actually happen.
It's like she draws her words out of a bag and then just spits them out, and we go, was that genius or really dumb? Depends on how much you've had to drink or smoke. Maybe. She did inhale, right? She said she inhaled.
Yeah, she did.
and she listens to hip hop music. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't. This woman, I try not to play her because she makes me go off script, and I don't like the way I criticize her. It's like a count to 10 moment for me. It's starting to get a little warm in here. I can't handle it. It's so bad. It's so stupid. Listen to Jim Carafano talk about this. The fact that we continue to send her onto the front lines of not our biggest problems, the world's biggest problems. She's never solved anything in her life. She can't even fix her own problems. Yet here she is, the vice president. I mean, it's like count to 10 moment. Just, could you imagine that this administration would have been this big of a disaster? I don't think you could. And we were all thinking, we had our eye off the ball here. Trump lost, Biden won, and we all thought what people still think, people still ask, what would Trump do here? What would Trump do there? It doesn't matter. What is Biden doing right now? I don't know that he knows, because he's not the one in charge. The administration sends Kamala Harris in to bulldoze every other problem. It's almost as if it becomes its own distraction and people stop paying attention to the fact that the world is burning in places right now. Have you seen the images at the train station of these strollers that are lined up in Poland so that when the Ukrainian people get off these trains fleeing their country, that they have a place to put their baby? Send Kamala Harris. She'll fix it. It makes no sense. And the reason why it makes no sense to you and to me is because the problem that is so obviously in front of our eyes, they don't see. It's not a problem to them. And if it's not a problem to them, what is it? That's the question I'm asking myself right now. Quick break, more Annie Frey Show right around the corner. Please consider joining us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. We got quite a few people watching and talking there right now. It's $2.20. You can donate your car to Goodwill and get 2022 Cardinal tickets at mersgoodwill.org. Use promo code Cardinals. I don't know. We didn't connect to Joy like we thought we would. We might get to him later this week. Stick around, more Annie Frey Show in a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Here's 97.1 insider Hans von Spakovsky.
They would push through bad bills that would actually destroy the economy of this country and our general standard of living.
Where St. Louis comes to talk. 97.1 FM Talk.
CAJonesInc.com is the website. You were looking to build a home in beautiful Southern Illinois. Yeah, there's still a lot of us who love living in Illinois. It's a beautiful place to live, and we're working on getting it back on track. That's a different story. But if you are looking to build a home, and while inventory on for sale homes is pretty tight and prices are pretty high, give CAJonesInc.com a look-see. Go see the different types of homes that they've built. They've even got some homes, I believe, on the website right now that you can purchase that are brand new, that were built to spec, and you can live in the house that is yours for the first time. CA Jones Inc. has wonderful energy efficient solutions for their home builds. And speaking of spec homes, I'm going to go to, was talking with Bridget at CA Jones Inc. I'm going to go there and pick out the finishes for a house. I'm so excited to do this. It's going to be exciting for me, and it's probably going to end up I'll probably end up living in this home because I'm going to love it so much. CA Jones Inc. has beautiful homes, and if you're looking to build, they're the place to go. Great people, a full understanding of the entire Metro East area. You can learn more about CA Jones and all of the things that they do and the commitments they make to their home buyers at CAJonesInc.com.
I love parlays and double doubles. You guys know it.
Aaron Hawksworth, co-host of BetQL Daily, 9 to noon Eastern on the BetQL Network.
I think the thing is to find something that works for you. Sometimes you can get overwhelmed by so many teams, so many things to bet on. But if you focus on a couple things and you get really good at that, then it's fun. I love it.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to BetQL Daily with the Joes and Aaron Hawksworth. Streaming weekdays from 9 to noon Eastern on Odyssey.
The Bomarito Automotive Group is proud to be partnering with Tax Slayer on and off the track, and you're the winner. Purchase any new or pre-owned vehicle from Bomarito and receive complimentary federal tax filing with Tax Slayer. Or visit Bomarito.com for 50% off Tax Slayer's filing service. File fearlessly with Tax Slayer. A better experience, a better price. Go with the automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
Attention business owners. This is a public awareness message from the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team. The war against hackers and ransomware is underway. The only way to prevent the war from impacting your business is to speak with the ThrottleNet cybersecurity team immediately. You need to act now. The ThrottleNet cybersecurity team is prepared to protect you against cyber threats. Schedule a meeting right away by visiting throttlenet.com/cyberwar.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar. And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Let's start off the new year with a new coat of paint. It's Mark Reardon for CertaPro Painters, and let's make 2022 the year you transform your home with some new colors and expert professional painting. CertaPro can make it happen, and the quality of the work will blow you away. One of my favorite parts of hiring CertaPro is I don't have to do the work myself. These are professional painters, and they can help you bring your vision of color to life. Schedule your free estimate today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. CertaPro Painters.
Took you like a shot, thought that I could chase you with a cold evening. Let a couple years water down how I'm feeling about you. And every time we talk, every single word builds up to this moment. And I gotta convince
The
myself
Annie
that
Frey
I
Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
You could break my heart in two, but when it heals, it beats for you. I know it's forward, but it's true. I wanna hold you when I'm not supposed to, when I'm lying close to someone.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Ryan's back in here. Ryan, did you get to hear Mayor Richard Irvin in studio with us?
I heard the whole thing.
What's your thoughts?
He's good. He sounds like he knows what he's doing. Because I just had never, I've seen a lot of ads, so I'm like, oh, okay, is he,
Isn't it interesting how the ads that people forcibly put in front of your face do shape your thoughts and opinions about someone?
Well, they shape whether you think somebody is a major contender or not. That's really what it's done. I really didn't get a lot from his ad other than that he wanted to not defund the police in Aurora.
Are you talking about his ad or
His
the
ad.
ads? Because there are a lot of ads out there against him from within the primary.
Oh, see, I haven't seen a lot of those. I've only seen his ads.
Have you seen them?
His ads?
The ones that attack him?
No, I haven't seen any of those.
Why am I seeing them?
You must be hyper targeted.
It's because I'm a woman and they think I'm easily influenced. Fools. No, I've seen a lot of them questioning his adherence to the Republican Party, conservative values, and questioning a bunch of that. And, I'm skeptical about everybody and all things. And my goal here is to have a candidate that's going to challenge J.B. Pritzker that can beat him. And I think we have multiple people in this primary race. And I had not met Richard Irvin before, and I'm glad we got to.
Yeah, I wanted to hear less about his policies, because I do, people have said, well, he's not conservative enough. And I figured we're going to hear that plenty. I wanted to hear how he handled a live interview. and just his personality and things like that. And I thought he did a really good job. He came off both as professional. He knew the talking points he was going to deliver, and he delivered them well. And he came off as, not stiff either, because a lot of times people who are really good at talking points, they can't really transition. And he kind of did both well.
Well, we have candidates. I'm not going to list them all off because I don't want to forget somebody, but we have candidates who he's the mayor of Aurora, which we said is the second largest city. He was the mayor there when there was the shooting, the Aurora, Illinois shooting. He was the mayor who handled that. We have state senators. We have people who served in the state house. We have people who have previously served in the state senate. We have businessmen. We have, venture investors or whatever it is. We've got all kinds right now. And, Brad, I don't know that you really had a chance to react to that interview. You were in here with us while we did it. What were your thoughts on the whole thing?
I mean, honestly, if he became governor, that would not break my heart. I thought he did a really good job. I'm still undecided as far as
endorsement.
Right. It's as far as
it is worse.
Yeah. No, and I think I mentioned this too. There's just a great slate of candidates. I thought he did a great job, an excellent job.
You said it off the air. You hate purity tests.
I do hate purity tests.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we're individuals, right? So this idea of like, oh, they're just a rhino or whatever, that I don't have time for that, especially not in Illinois, because we have to win, right? Because we could have
we can't all be Missouri,
right? We can't all be Missouri yet.
We can't all have elected Republicans of all different shades.
And the thing is if they're on the same side of the rope as me, pulling in the same direction as me, until they start pulling against me, they're on my team, And so whenever I look at these people and it's like, well, they don't believe in this. Well, if that's like your only thing, okay, I get it, I understand. But like, would I have liked him to be a little stronger on Foyd? Sure. I would have loved him to say Foyd is void, all the fun stuff. But I will take his version of Foyd over JB Pritzker's version of Foyd.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I will take, I loved his stance on pro-life. I loved that.
I very rarely, folks, ask a question I don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the answer to that question before I asked.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest. In some cases, I don't want to ask questions of somebody who's potentially going to be the governor. I mean, for my own personal benefit, if my voice is being used in an attack ad across the state where I ask a question, is that good for my brand? Yes. Does it hurt the Republicans' ability to win that election? Probably. But it's not my job to it's not my job to protect these people. I just want to know honest answers to honest questions. And if he would have said, Bruce Rauner was openly pro-choice before he was elected governor the first time. He said, I am pro-choice. I wouldn't want to make this decision for a woman. I believe that decision is up to a woman, but he said he wouldn't govern based on those social issues. That wasn't entirely true in the end. But would we have been better if Bruce Rauner had been elected for the last 4 years? Oh my gosh, yes. Purity tests. I mean, if you're going to do purity tests, you better get involved in the primary in a big, big way.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, who can beat JB Pritzker? It doesn't matter how perfect of a candidate they are if they cannot win. And I'm looking at the people running right now, and I don't know that any of them are perfect, and I don't know that any of them are completely damaged goods.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I actually do like purity tests, especially at this point before the primary, because that's where you do sift that stuff out. So I may disagree with you guys in the room on that a little bit.
What do you mean? Like, what's your assessment?
Like saying, okay, these are the absolute issues I will not give up on.
Like what?
Pro-life is one of them, for sure. Mm-hmm. And in Illinois, economics is a huge one. What are you going to do with the economy of Illinois? But I don't think I heard anything from him that would have thrown him out on those things either.
Well,
so
and for the most part, the stuff that you're listing isn't stuff that there's any disagreement on.
That's what I mean. Especially in this primary, I'm not seeing everybody's got different takes. I mean, you just listed the candidates and their backgrounds and the different approaches that they've each got. And each one of them has legitimate credentials that are probably bigger on certain issues than others. But in this one, even being somebody who was like okay with a purity test, going into this election, what we've gone through for the last couple of years in Illinois with Pritzker as the governor, I don't care. If it was a Rauner, I wouldn't care. At this point, I want to know somebody that's going to beat Pritzker, and that is my number one issue. No kidding.
And that's where I'm at with the purity test, right? Right now, like you said, right now is when you make your decision. You get, like Annie said, you get involved in the primary and you vote for your candidate and you stump for your candidate. But whenever your candidate doesn't win, or if your candidate does win in the primary, you can't throw a hissy fit and go home and not vote in the general because this guy isn't, or this girl, it just isn't.
Didn't check all my boxes.
Yeah, didn't check all your boxes. We're people. We're not going to check all of our own boxes, and we're in this room, and we're a lot alike in politically speaking.
Our votes on election day are going to look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of how they would even look different. And we all come at it from different angles. When you vote with your head, you vote with your heart. Everybody has, I think it's like, how much heart, how much head do you put into the process? Because your wants and desires, I am somebody who I'm vehemently pro-life. But I understand incrementally that there are gains to be had in on that specific issue that Illinois could implement right now we're not going to compare to Missouri when it comes to their amazing stand for life. What we have seen the legislature in the state of Missouri do, the governor do, and honestly, because of the wonderful people of the state of Missouri, it's so important to understand this iteration of Illinois government removed the ban on partial birth abortion. That means that the baby can be half out of the mother and they can stab a scissors into the spine of this child and kill it legally in the state of Illinois. You heard Mayor Irvin talking about how you can, as a teenager now, go get an abortion procedure done and your parents don't even have to be notified. But yes, you do, in fact, have to give approval for your child to take an allergy pill at school, or an Excedrin, or an ibuprofen at school. What the hell are we doing right now? We don't make any sense. It makes no sense. All of it is pandering. And we have lost so much control with not Republican conservative values in Illinois, with common sense, with decency. It has gone so far south that there is so much ground to be gained before we even have the luxury in the state of Illinois of discussing conservative purity tests. Gun control, support for the police, abortion, education, control over the public education system and what children have to do in classrooms that extends beyond the public education system into the private education system. Your security in your own home. The cost of goods, the cost of gas. I mean, all you got to do is cross the river right here. $3.99 at the gas station, the Zoom gas station right here by the Stanspan Bridge. Across the river, it's I took a picture of it today at Casey's because I was at Casey's getting donuts and Diet Coke. $4.59 at Casey. Diesel is $4.99. Yeah, we got Joe Biden stickers out there that says I did that. J.B. Pritzker did that too, which is why I won't buy the gas there. You think that helped Casey's? I mean, I'm probably keeping them in business with coffee on a regular basis. But does it make a difference that I don't spend my $50 in gas to fill up? I mean, was what it normally was. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to have to get gas on the way home. We have a lot of common sense ground to make up. And I honestly think that right now we have common sense ground to make up with people on very basic freedom issues that don't even have to do with politics. Let's take a quick break. More of this discussion when we come back. Join us on the live chat. We got quite a few people there talking about this right now. And I know that there are a lot of people listening who have different candidates in their choice for Illinois governor, and that's good. Come talk about them. If you support somebody else, make sure that you're telling people about who you are interested in. And if you missed the interview with Mayor Richard Irvin, who's running for Republican in the Republican primary for governor, get on that Odyssey app and rewind to 1:25 p.m. Morning Frey Show. Just a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show. The Mark Reardon Show.
Let's talk to Mr. Frank Cusimano from Channel 5.
We're on day 96 of the lockout. No new negotiations have been scheduled.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Air Comfort Service. Oh, just some really, really great people that you can have come out to your home. The HVAC system in your house needing a little look-see, you can have them come out and take care of it. There are double carrier cool cash rebates available right now. It won't be long before we're going to start seeing warmer temperatures, and it just brightens my day to be able to tell you that instead of complaining about all the snow and ice we've been having, we're going to be complaining about how hot it is. Well, I won't be, but I know a lot of people who will. You want to make sure that your air conditioner is fully functional. Is your HVAC system ready for that warmer weather? If it's not, or if you have no idea, which means that you'd be in the camp that I live in, which is I don't ever think about my air conditioner. It just runs. It just keeps me cool. It keeps me in my comfort zone. And that's because it's been installed by Air Comfort Service. They put in a new system for us 2 Christmases ago, and it has been wonderful for us. Also keeping energy costs down, which we're grateful for right now. If you are interested in talking to them and getting a free estimate on replacing your HVAC system, you can enjoy those carrier cool cash rebates and instant savings of $100 to up to $4,300 on qualifying carrier equipment. Call 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Hey, Bulls fans in Illinois, if you want to bet basketball, get in the game with an assist from FanDuel Sportsbook, an official partner of the Chicago Bulls and the NBA. Mobile registration is back, and you can sign up for a FanDuel Sportsbook account from the comfort of your couch. Right now, new customers in Illinois can tip things off with a risk-free first bet up to $1,000. I've loved FanDuel. They have the best odds, daily promotions, quick payouts as well. Just sign up online or with the Sportsbook app. Place your first bet. FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 in site credit if you don't win. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using the promo code MARK to get started with your risk-free first bet up to $1,000. Again, that's the promo code MARK. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 97.1 FM Talk. 21 plus and present in Illinois. Referred players must wager $10 before 3/13/21 after signing up. Limit 10 referrals. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires after 7 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, it's Michael Mohan at Community Mortgage. As we go into a new year, it is a great time to get started on a new home loan. If you've been thinking about a cash-out refinance to pay off debt or update your home, act now while equity is at an all-time high and interest rates are still at historic lows. Maybe it's the year that you're going to reduce your term or get rid of the dreaded PMI. Perhaps this is the year that you buy a new home. Call me now so you can shop with confidence. When you call, there will be no gimmicks or sales pitch, just straightforward, upfront information on refinancing and home buying options. So call me today, 314-336-6050, 314-336-6050, or online at communitymortgagestl.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, 224-143, NMLS 250353.
Wealth-changing question. Is your advisor giving you incomplete advice? Besides investing, there's also taxes, insurance, estate planning, and other elements that can be stressful to organize. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house, ensuring all aspects of your wealth are working harder together so you can enjoy your wealth instead of worrying about it. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling Studios. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 53 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Up-to-the-minute traffic reports, so you don't have to keep looking at your phone. Dependable traffic on 97.1 FM Talk. Driven by Ambassador Midwest Floor Company, the best way to deal with in-home traffic. Experience more at Ambassador Midwest Floor. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Sat
of you two have what you would refer to as adult ADD, do you?
No, I doubt it.
Does your wife? You said your wife does.
Without saying too much, I think yes.
Did you? You're just diagnosing. What do you mean without saying too much?
Don't say that on the air, Ryan.
Well, we're
too late
working
now.
toward maybe diagnosing something.
We?
Who's we? You got a
as
mouse in your pocket?
Me and my family, we're all talking about it.
Your wife is like a high-level high school math teacher. There's no way she has ADD.
Not ADD, no.
You want to talk about what she does have?
It's what you don't say.
OCD.
No, I
You don't
know.
have to answer this question. I'm
what
asking
is it
questions I
that
shouldn't.
like
Wait, think about this. There's still time.
she's
I'm
she's
already
very
done.
she's very mathematical in her thinking.
Ryan's like, no, keep going. Get me off the hook.
Yeah, Brad, keep talking.
What?
Very mathematical in her thinking, very analytical, very
Genius?
Maybe, I guess.
You can have ADD and still be really analytical and think about math. Annie's raising your hand.
I do have ADD, and it is my superpower and my Achilles heel at the same time. It just matters if I can harness it. For instance, last night. So what is my favorite holiday? First of all, you talk about what my favorite holiday is. Do you know what March is?
St. Patrick's Day?
No.
I don't like holiday
Why are you
wise.
such a misogynist?
I don't know what you're talking. Is it Women's Month?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
It's your month, Ryan.
That's what I
Be
meant
who
to
you
say
wanna be.
first.
It's International Women's Month, and we keep getting emails from our company celebrating.
That's the only reason I know.
Celebrating the women's.
The women's, the females.
Do you think they're gonna? I mean, like I said this to Brad. I don't want to be in that. I don't want to be celebrated because I don't want to be that person. I want them to celebrate somebody who is female who does what I do. Do I qualify?
Wait, you want to be celebrated because you've achieved something, but not because you're a female, is what you're saying, right?
No, I'm saying
Okay.
I'm a woman. You'd think that's the qualification that is necessary to be celebrated for something like this. But I don't speak to the narrative. I think International Women's Month is stupid. I don't. Okay, there's only one good way to do this, and it's to go to like who's the top chick in the country? Who's the pinnacle?
Kamala, right?
Okay, maybe Kamala. I forgot about her.
No.
Well, who are you thinking?
Jill Biden have to be.
Jill?
She's the first lady. She's numero uno.
It's in her title.
Yeah. First lady. Where's that
Kamala's
clip?
the first female vice president.
Yeah.
But she's the vice president, which makes her not the top.
Oh, that's a good point.
Listen to Jill Biden on International Women's Day celebrate women. And normally I would play the clip and then I would tell you what I think, but I want you to hear what I heard. As a female, international women should be like, huh, girl power. Yeah, women. High five. Slap on the butt. No, that's what men do.
I'm not going to do that on Women's Month.
Men
all you ladies, line up. You're doing a good job. I want to let you know.
I did not know that this was part of International Women's Month. Going around slapping the booties everywhere. Who knew? Heard it on the Annie Frey Show.
Just want you to know you're doing a good job.
I'm going to be sitting in court in many cases across the bi-state region. When Jill Biden celebrates Women's Month, listen to how much she makes women the victim in this little
From
speech.
soft lullabies to battle cries for justice, women nurse and nurture, teach and build, lead and dream our world forward each and every day. Women have never been silent, but women have been silenced. And that's because our voices are powerful.
That doesn't even make sense.
When we raise them, we can tear down injustice, topple tyrants
Men
and
everywhere like, I
demagogues,
wish my woman
and
would be
shatter
silent.
the shields of oppression. This International Women's Day, we honor women throughout the world who courageously use their voice, no matter the cost.
What?
To our sisters from Ukraine who are fighting to keep their country free and their families alive, we stand with you in solidarity. To our sisters in Russia who are protesting and speaking out against the invasion at great personal risk, we see your courage. And to women warriors around the world, those fighting for justice and working for change. Thank you for building a better future for all of us.
Man, the things that women do that men can't do, she didn't even talk about. She said nurture, is that supposed to be what women can do, which is make babies? And gosh, if you've never done it, you just don't know. If you've seen it, you do know. Women are the most powerful beings on the planet. We are able to do things that men just cannot do. Is that controversial to say? I don't want to live in a world where it's controversial to say. I'm just saying it because I've done it 4 times. I'm not a victim. There are things that I love to do. I like to wear dresses. I like to wear red lipstick. I like to be feminine. I like to be able to use my silence as my superpower against my husband. Listen, it's a superpower. You gotta use these things. You don't even need to use words. Oh, gosh. My husband's listening right now and he's like, God, I wish you would shut up.
I do too.
I wish we could silence women again.
When
was this time when women were silent? Let's go back to that. There goes my profession. I mean, like, it's not the whole thing about how women have been suppressed and pushed down, but there are women warriors out there fighting for their right to exist? We're doing fine. And women listening to this station right now, you know it, I know it. And it's almost like a wink, wink secret that we know it. And men just have to sit around and shut up and take it because that's the moment in time we're in. I mean, I would still advise you to just not say too much about it, but except for you, Ryan, you let him have it.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say whatever. She painted that. I mean, multiple things in there, but one of the things she seemed to be painting was Ukrainian women. We know they've come after you, as if that it had anything to. That war had nothing to do with gender. Like we're gonna.
It does now.
Well, now it does because the first lady said it did, but also the 2 lines back to back. She said there. It's such cognitive dissonance to say you have no voice because your voice is so powerful. What the hell are you talking about? That makes no sense.
That is another superpower of women, which is talking in circles till you're so dizzy that men just shut up. You guys are not going to say anything because you have been dizzied.
I don't know what to say about that.
Also, you guys get to stand up peeing in gas stations. That's not fair. That's the equality
That's a superpower.
It is a superpower.
It's a really good time.
I mean,
too.
we stand up when we pee too. It just goes everywhere.
That's weird. That's weird. Okay.
What kind of thigh power do you have to hover over those nasty seats?
I don't.
Just try it once.
No, I don't. I mean, if I gotta go number 2, I'm gonna sit down. I'm not gonna do whatever you're talking about doing.
Never talk about you going number 2 again.
Well, I don't know what to compare it to.
In the history and in the future of the show, that was your one moment, folks. Just put that away in a time capsule because it is never happening again.
You just talked about women missing the toilet because they won't sit down.
This is that circle talking she was talking about.
Ladies peeing and men number 2ing is a totally different conversation.
I think they're probably about the most comparable things we can
Nobody thinks they're the same. Bradley,
as far as the toilet seat goes.
Are we talking about the mechanics of doing it?
Yes.
No, just the existence of it happening.
Oh, they're different things. What? No, they're different things.
By definition.
That's that circle talk again.
Is it working?
I mean, what's your end goal?
I'm saying that me talking about women having to hover to pee is one level of, ooh, she went there. Ryan talking about dropping a deuce is a totally different conversation.
I guess that's probably true. I'll give you that. Here's what else.
Thank you for the generous gift.
Here's what else I'll give you.
Poop again.
The whole it's that poop again. That the comment you made about Women's Month and the narrative that goes along with these things is so true. Because it's not just about women. Otherwise, it would be about all kinds of conservative women. That's why I'm not kidding when I say I'm shocked that you've won awards. Because when these awards things are happening for media in particular.
Wait, the comment's coming. The compliment's coming.
Yeah.
Annie, I'm shocked that you've won awards.
I'm shocked that you've won awards.
Because they allowed it.
Because when you're talking, especially about media awards, generally it's exactly what you're talking about. It's Women's Month. And so let's celebrate women, but only these kinds of women.
Maybe it could be completely possible that our company is going to acknowledge me on one of these days. I may not even, maybe it happened and I just didn't know it. I just don't think that my kind of femaleness is what they're looking for.
Yeah. And I'm not talking about just whether it's our company talking about, I'm talking about society talking about it.
Completely.
Okay, so I don't want to like completely derail this conversation here, but I sat here and I listened to it, and the stuff that Jill Biden is celebrating women doing is stuff that you can celebrate men doing. So
it's not particularly feminine.
It's right. It's not
female.
It's not particularly that. And this is coming, like, we're celebrating women coming from a belief system that has tried to eliminate the difference between men and women. I don't understand, like,
women's rights, fighting for women's rights in my lifetime on the radio, not just my lifetime, that expands into the 80s, which was like a women's movement kind of time. Fighting for women's rights I've been on the air since 2014, 8 years, has drastically taken a turn. So much so that anybody can do it now. It used to be that women, the fist in the air, the future is female thing used to be a celebration of what it meant to be a woman. And now the slogan is female. Anybody can do it. That is the least empowering thing you can possibly say. Anybody that being female is something that you can just apply to yourself. There is a drastic change in my time of being on the air of what it meant to be a strong feminine. This postmodern femininity is inverted. It's inside out. And I don't think that they know how to escape from it.
No.
They've devoured themselves. They've created the Frankenstein monster that they can no longer control. And it has no resemblance to what the initial creation and goal, the outset was.
Yeah, they don't know what it is. That's what Matt Walsh always asks the question. Can you tell me, before we celebrate women, what is a woman? And nobody really can answer that question because they step on themselves knowing that if they say the wrong thing, the woke mob's going to come after them because you can't define it anymore unless you define it the way we define it biologically. That's it. Other than that, it's a mess.
Not how I'm raising my daughters. And I hope that my daughters are the future. And I keep having them. So I got 3 of them. So I'm trying to overtake the new feminist movement. It's going to be back to being like, yay, female. My favorite holiday is now Kashmir Pulaski Day. Just want everybody to know. Because that was yesterday. And my husband and I had, he had it off because he's a public school teacher. Our kids go to a Lutheran school. So they went to school. And so I said last week, if you're going to be off and the kids are going to school, I'm taking Monday off and we're going to get some stuff done around the house and so on and so forth. I stayed in bed like forever and he did some stuff for the baseball team. And like we played Fortnite while the kids were at school. That was literally
That's actually pretty awesome.
Kashmir Pulaski Day is where it's at. International Women's Day. I mean, yeah, yay, girls.
Oh, is there a day? I thought it was a whole month. I didn't know it was.
I think maybe both.
It's both. Today's
they didn't invite me. Today is it?
Today's International.
High five,
Hey,
ladies.
all right. There you go, Annie. You just won.
Brian on YouTube says the life of human makes for some good poop reading material.
Yeah. Thanks, Brian.
Is that what that book's about?
Am I saying thanks to that? It's written in small chunks. I shouldn't have said small chunks in light of this conversation.
Oh my gosh. Mark Reardon. I gift you Ryan Wiggins.
Yeah.
You can have him and you can carry this conversation on. Great day to check out the podcast. Mayor Richard Irvin, the mayor of Aurora, running for Illinois governor. Go check out the podcast today. Stick around on 97.1 FM Talk. Mark Reardon Show's next.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum